We're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up. Next floor is us. You're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. We go party till we black out. Black out. So get the fuck up.
wants to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again.
slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
Maggots and Beckett's, which is known in Silverstone GP, and this is COTA's version of it, and obviously the later part of this sector is then something that the guys that do develop this circuit decided to make it their own version. As you can see, the climb up the hill, car wants to make sure it's as stable as possible to get the best run through that sector. If you're looking at the cars like the Audi, the Lamborghinis, and possibly the Acuras to be very strong in this section, as the car is quite good on the chassis, quite good on downforce, so this is where it
take what we're given, and the sun may still rise, but your light is missing. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins.
Oh, what's happened? No, what has happened?
You've got wheel issues.
I wanna stay in this moment.
Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
And it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay career, but it's going to be win number 1 this season, and the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900, the bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh no, Dean! Oh no, Dean! Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden.
just looks like he's got such more speed over up around the outside of turn 3. Job done, easy as you like for Max Mulder.
Want me, hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies
Dean here looks like he's got a good bit of momentum, and he's got a great run on Max here. He's going to come up the inside, and Dean Wasocki, 1 win to his name, Dan. We called it in the Wet It Snetterton Season 2. Dean, lap 9, up the inside of Max Mulder. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
me onto the street like at the end, so I could show you you're golden, golden. Honestly, you're golden. Me under the mess and then just so that I could show you you're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. You're golden, golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden.
Max is pulling away from these two boys. Boy's got to look to the outside. Wow, that was late.
Yeah, you're golden, golden. Golden, golden.
Another big wiggle, big snap. Dean tugs underneath. Doesn't need a second invitation. He sticks it in the top bins, and he's back in the lead of this race.
Honestly, you know it. Me under the me under the golden. Hey, you're golden, golden. Oh yeah, me under the I'm so golden. Honestly, you go through the mess and I could show you. Hey, you're golden, you're golden.
They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over around the outside of turn 3. Job done, easy as you like for Max Mulder. happened? No, what has happened?
You got wheel issues. Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
And it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay career. But it's going to be win number 1 this season. And the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900. The bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh, no, Dean! Oh, no, Dean! Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Meet under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Meet under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden.
They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over up around the outside of turn 3. Job done easy as you like for Max Mulder. Dean here looks like he's got a good bit of momentum, and he's got a great run on Max here. He's going to come up the inside, and Dean Wasocki, 1 win to his name, Dan. We called it in the Wet It Snetterton Season 2. Dean, lap 9, up the inside of Max Mulder. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden.
is pulling away from these two boys. Boys got to look to the outside. Wow, that was late.
Yeah, you're going golden air.
Another big wiggle, big snap. Dean tugs underneath. Doesn't need a second invitation. He sticks it in the top bins and he's back in the lead of this race. And welcome to Simplay Motorsport, here for round 3 and 4 of the Pro-Am season. I'm your host, Mathew Duffin, joined once again back in the commentary box by my partner in crime, Unorthodox 16, Dan Davis. How are you?
I feel a bit awkward in here, to be honest.
Yeah, tension. They've had to put a divider between us tonight so that Dan doesn't rear-end me. But enough about last Thursday. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very good, thanks, Dan. We're here, round 3 and 4. We have crossed the Atlantic. We are here in America, Texas, to be precise, for the Circuit of the America tracks. Are we looking forward to tonight's action?
I'm looking forward to tonight's action, but I'm definitely not looking forward to tomorrow, because this is a circuit that I absolutely detest. Absolutely hate this circuit with a massive amount of passion. But either way, it's on the calendar. We're in the United States, and here we go.
Here we go indeed. 10 runners. We've just lost Smithy. We hope to get him back in. We are expecting Stealth Sloth, Dean Wisocki, and a few stragglers to get in. No Lucas Roth, maybe not Welshie tonight. They're away on holiday this week. Welshie will try and get in, though, no doubt. But we are here for tonight's racing, and 10 drivers on the grid. And to hear more about the COTA circuit
at Circuit of the Americas, round 2 of the championship, a track that's 3.4 miles long with an elevation of 41 meters, opened in 2012, FIA grade 1 with 20 corners and anti-clockwise. And Icora once again back on track to send us up into turn 1. And there's so many different lines up into turn 1. You can go wide and take it tight and get a good exit, or you could do the opposite, go in tight but also run wide. Famously known for that contact between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, as they did at the start of the race in the wet. And the start of the race is going to be very interesting. As you can see here, the Cora sending it down the inside, trying to get as many positions as it possibly can at the start, but compromises its exit and gets a poor drive, which allows the Renault to come back underneath into turn 2. So positions can be won or gained in different ways in this section, but also can be lost. But the Acura here gaining multiple positions, but obviously at the same time losing out another one to the Renault. So one to keep an eye on for, and definitely see if the guys can keep it controlled as they go into that section. And after that, we head into a very famous section of COTA. This is a replica version of Maggots and Beckett's, which is known in Silverstone GP, and this is COTA's version of it. And obviously the later part of this sector is then something that the guys that do develop this circuit decided to make it their own version. As you can see, with the climb up the hill, car wants to make sure it's as stable as possible to get the best run through that sector. If you're looking at the cars like the Audi, the Lamborghinis, and possibly the Acuras to be very strong in this section, as the car is quite good on the chassis, quite good on downforce, so this is where it should be at its best. But also one thing to watch out for is the curbs here. The curbs on this track are very, very lethal. Most of the cars don't tend to like to run the curbs here, so you have to try and adapt and change your suspension, your dampers, to make them suitable to go through this section. Very difficult to also overtake in this part of the track. As you see here, the Acura stuck behind the Mercedes. It can't seem to find a way through due to the Mercedes power advantage but lack of downforce. The Mercedes struggles through this section, but the Acura is much more powerful. There's no obvious overtaking opportunity, so the Acura will have to make do and try and stick to as close as he possibly can to the Mercedes. If he's done that and he's made sure he's had a great run through that sector, it will then lead him down to the second best opportunity to overtake, which is at the hairpin. As you go into the hairpin, you can get another corner that you take multiple different lines. But the way the circuit is this wide, there's so many opportunities to take different lines. You can go in tight, you can go in wide. And in this case, the Acura comes out and gets a good run out of the first sector and then heads towards the hairpin. With it going wide and braking just at the dark patch, it allows it to get great traction out of the corner, hitting the apex, and you can get a good run down the back straight, which you'll need to get a good slipstream or a good tow on the car in front. Like I said, a second good opportunity for the cars to overtake, and down the inside goes the Acura and gets the job done on the Renault. But if he does overshoot the corner or misses and has a poor run, the Renault can come back and attack. But luckily the Acura has done enough in this sense to stay in front. And this is what I was talking about, the toe. Down the back straight, there's two cars fighting, and the Acura gets in the slipstream. This is where the Mercedes and the Porsche should be strong, including the Lamborghini. Straight line speed is going to be very vital through there, as the Acura will go down the inside to 3 cars wide there, and he gets the job done and heads into the tight, twisty section of the final sector. This sector is also a replica version of Hockenheim Stadium section. Both these corners have been replicated to be similar to Hockenheim Stadium, and as you can see here, the Acura trying its best to get the best traction as well. You can go in early apex, let the car drift wide, and go in a wide entry into a tight exit. Through here is the replica version of Turkey's Turn 8 Istanbul circuit, as the Acura goes through that sector. We'll come back to that in a minute, but there's one other opportunity we can do here, is send it down the inside. We can catch other cars out in this section. As you can see there, the Acura goes down the inside of the Audi and gets that job done, then leans itself into the Istanbul right-hander. Obviously at Istanbul it goes to the left. Here at COTA it goes to the right. Your downforce and your suspension needs to be at its best there to be able to take the load that the car is asking for you. Which then leads you to the penultimate corner and then the final corner, where track limits will be watched. The penultimate corner, again, the rules state that all 2 tyres must be at least on the curb or on the inside of the line. The white line, that's on the side of the circuit. And you can see there, Acura staying within track limits nicely. But also it's a final opportunity for an overtake. The final corner is where you can get your last opportunity while you can. It's coming towards the end of the race. This will be an opportunity where the guys can try and get that last move in. But traction is key on the final corner. If you don't get that good traction, you're not able to then fight and hold on to that position, which will then lead you into turn 1 to get another good position. The Acura goes around the outside of the Mercedes here, tries the option around the outside, but because the Mercedes has the inside, it has the advantage, it gets better drive, better exit, and is able to stay in front. So that's a quick guide of the Circuit of the Americas, round 2 of the season. Here are your lap records. Pro qualifying record is a 2:04.2, race record is a 2:05.4. The Pro-Ams 2:05.9 and a 2:07.3. The Pro-Ams was done by Ukbar. Quality time was done by Overtaker, and a race record done by Fury. That's what we're looking forward to here. The wet weather is going to be also an interesting factor here if it is wet, but to the guys in the Pro and in the Pro-Ams, that is a quick guide of the circuit, and best of luck to everyone here this evening. And we go back to the guys in the comms.
Thank you very much, Dan, for that absolutely fantastic in-depth look then at Circuit of the Americas. And Dan, obviously you're with us in the commentary box. Now you've jumped off the track preview out the Acura and back into the commentary box with us. Like you say, a lot of corners at this circuit, very famous for being taken from parts of other tracks. Which bit of COTA is it that you really enjoy going around?
Well, it feels weird knowing that my twin brother has done a lovely track guide for us here this evening of this wonderful circuit. Not Ricky Collard, but if I'm gonna pinpoint one section, I do like the Hockenheim section. I do like the final sector. For me, is what I like. You have to be patient. You have to be precise, and that's what I like. Let's see if we can get a driver in that section. We got Rabbit Joe heading towards down there. Go down the back straight, and for me, this circuit does take some of the best circuits ever made, but it can also produce some really dull racing here because they've taken such great moments.
Indeed it can. A bit more facts about the Circuit of the Americas for you then. 5.514 kilometres, which is 3.426 miles. An elevation change, and if I'm right, it's one of the greatest elevation changes, especially in the Formula One calendar. 133 feet, 41 metres from its lowest to its highest point. So a big change, and most of that really comes at the start where Monkey Boy is at now. From the start line up that great climb. If we go on the roof camera of Kelly, look, you just see now, look at the incline there of KLF. Obviously, you guys won't be able to see this with the graphics still on screen. It opened in 2012. It's an FIA Grade 1 circuit, as it has to be to host the Formula 1. 20 turns, none of them with corner names. It is literally turn 1 to turn 20. Anti-clockwise circuit, and as Dan said in the chat, Pro-Am qualifying record of Ukbar of 2059 and the Pro-Am race record of a 2073. Most pole positions, multiple drivers have one pole position each here, but the one man who stands out on most wins is that man, the Undertaker. Ukbar, sorry. Smithy's got me saying the Undertaker now. Is that man Ukbar? And he is the man to watch, Dan, around this circuit, because as you see at the moment, he's not actually hit his peak time that we've seen in practice.
No, he hasn't. Obviously, guys who know us here on the channel, we do a lot of practice sessions outside of live times, and even Ukbar has been managing to stick to the lap times of us in the Pro. So Ukbar really, at this circuit, I feel like American circuits, Ukbar just seems to gel. Don't know what it is about American circuits. It's a bit like Bozzy Boy. Wherever they seem to go, and it's America, they seem to do very well here. And already that Bozzy Boy again, Iniokura up there in the top 3 already. The only 2 that are faster than him are Max and Ukbar. And like I said, Ukbar is the man around here. And
Bozzy Boy, in a little practice session before we came live, Dan, actually gave you a bit of a run for his money. And speaking of that Bozzy Boy, his 3 wins at Simplay Motorsport have all came on American circuits. His first race win came here in a night race that was absolutely wet through. So for Bozzy Boy here, he's got some history of this circuit then. Pit window opens at the end of lap 3. Drivers can pit. But I think it's time for a little new graphic that we're bringing to you this season. Hopefully. ...17 and Simplay Racing bringing up the rear on 7, and that is your points standings at the minute. It didn't replay. I'll have to sort that out to make sure it replays for tomorrow night, because I know the graphic does move a little quick. Back to the action though, Dan, and this is what happens. At the minute, it is Argent who now leads the way. And I've got the timing screens next to me, Dan. Ukbar's best lap, I noticed. He actually was purple sector 1 and 2 and then bailed out of it.
Yeah, I think Ukbar is probably just hiding his true pace at the minute. We know what this man can do, and I think a lot of the guys in here know what he can do anyway, but there's no need to push too hard in practice anyway. You don't want to really show off your true pace. You kind of just want to get your car into a happy zone yourself, Matt, and a lot of the guys in the chat as well will know that even though we do practice online session, we do sometimes custom sessions, we also do all sorts of different things. As soon as you get into an online session, things change. Yeah. Your car can feel completely different. For 1 minute, it could be very stable in one session. The next session, it could feel absolutely horrible. So you're just finding that balance. You're just finding where you feel comfortable. And also, a lot of these guys will just try and remember how the circuit flows. For example, Liam here, just going through Sector 1, just trying his different lines, trying different tactics, and also changing variety of fuels. It's the practice session, even though it seems long, it seems a waste of time to the guys, it's an important part of the session where they can just figure out exactly what's going on with this session and what's going on with the car.
Indeed it is. And Walshy there said we had no sound during the graphic of the championship, so I will just run through them again. Max Mulder leads the way 6 points clear of KLF and Monkey Boy, who are tied 2nd and 3rd. Dean Wisoki's 5 points behind them in P4. Shane is 5th on 22. Ukbar 6th on 20, with Smithy in 7th place. Stealth Soft down in 8th. DJ Phil 9th. Welshie 10th. Lucas Roth 11th and Bozzy Boy 12th. The last of the point scorers, as Argent Joe, Bryn and Leon Fernie didn't score last week due to internet connections or holiday or moving to university. whatever the reasons was. Audio Sport Tour Pros lead the Constructors' Championship, 29 points clear of SRL Race Team. Wakasaki Racing 34 behind in third place. Terminal Velocity Racing are 35 behind in fourth. MC Motorsport without Welshie tonight, on holiday himself. Thought he took the disc with him, turns out he hasn't, so he's not able to get in tonight. The Super Crash Bros are sixth with SFA Acora Racing and Simplay Racing. Keegs obviously missing for the same problems as Welshie then. So not the best to start for the Simplay Racing team, and they've got work to do. 594 Drivers' Championship points left to score, 1,034 Constructors' Championship points left to score. That's before race 1, Dan, in which if Football nails, we think, and we've said this in the off air, but all week, we think Ukbar's the man to beat around this circuit. If Ukbar has a bit of an Ukbar race, as we called it last week, I think it's wide open between Max, Argent, Bozzy Boy, Dean's had pace, and Joe looks like he's up there as well.
I feel as well, Ukbar's not going to have it as easy as he did last season. I think the likes of that Bozzy Boy, Argent, and even Max as well, they can get onto terms pretty quickly. Rabbit Joe, I reckon, has got more pace underneath them as well. But also keep an eye out for the likes of Monkey Boy and KLF 900. They can always bring up something, especially Monkey Boy. He's always there or thereabouts. Multiple champion here in the Pro-Am. He's won many races in the Pro-Am, and he knows what he's doing here. He knows exactly what he needs to do to be on top.
Yeah.
Ukbar, yes, is favoured going here. He always will be, because it's just his circuit. It seems to be where he gels. But the Acoras are giving him a run for his money, which also shocks me as well, Matt, knowing that this circuit, with the size it is, how big this circuit is, with the long straights, this car is quite strong here. The downforce, the chassis seems to help it in Sector 1 and 3.
Yeah, and this is something that shocked us, Dan. Dean Wasocki, just to put it out there, in testing in the week, was actually quicker than myself and Dan. And I'm not trying to big our egos up here, which was very impressive for Dean Wasocki in Sectors 1, which is a sector that you kind of see that suits the Acora. You see on the track map, very twisty, very bendy. Sector 2, this long back straight that we have here, really is the opportunity where the Acora starts to struggle. We're not seeing that in the testing, though, are we? We're seeing that the Acora starts to lose out on its top speed at the end of the straight as you're about to hit the brakes. It's not getting, overtaken very quickly. So these Acora boys have a good opportunity around here. Speaking of Monkey Boy, Dan, he has one pole position and one race win to his name around here. Other Pro-Am drivers, Ukbar, we know, one pole position, two race wins. Bozzy Boy's got a race win around here as well for the drivers that are on the Pro-Am grid tonight. So that is what these boys can do around here. Only 3 drivers actually tonight out there that have ever took a pole position or a race win here. Obviously, other drivers on that list have done it in Pro-Am, but are now racing in the Pro category. So for Bozzy Boy, for Monkey Boy, for Ukbar, they're the 3 that's got the stuff around this track. And KLF adopting a Dean Wasocki approach there with having his window wipers on what looks to be, by the way, Dan, we haven't pointed this one out, an absolutely beautiful day here in Texas.
Oh, yeah, it is an absolute beautiful, gorgeous day. Very different to what we had last season, especially in the Pro, where we had thunderstorms and all sorts of weather. But here in beautiful COTA, the sun is out, the sun is shining, and we're looking forward to some great racing. A man that's nice to see on the grid here is Leon Burney. He's managed to make this round, and also he's got very big boots to fill, especially in that car. We obviously had Nick. Nick, who was partnered with Max, he made this car work very, very well, especially in the Pro category as well. He's now stepped in the number 3 Audi and partnered with Max due to, I think, Nick being in college.
Yes.
Something along those lines. So he's unable to race this season, but nonetheless, he's got big boots to fill. And it's nice to see also Bryn, obviously, with his issues last week with the internet and your issues as well, Matt. It's nice to see that they've kind of addressed themselves. He's currently still in the pits at the minute, but we've got a solid grid. Other than the 2 Welshies, we've pretty much got a full grid. And it's great to see Bryn here, because in race 1, Dan, Bryn will make his 100th race appearance, and it is fantastic to see that Bryn will be out there for race number 100 in his Simplay career. In what feels to be a short career, he came in at the back end of Season 4. We're into Season 7, 100 races. Bryn kind of takes up any opportunity he can to get a race under his belt. In terms of other noticeable achievements that can happen tonight, the Porsche, we said it last week, we'll say it again this week. It needs 2 race wins to get to 50 race wins, and that Lamborghini is hot on its heels. And you have to say, with Overtaker in the Pro this season looking rather racy, the Lamborghini might get its 50th race win before the Porsche. That's only 2 behind it. Apart from that, no other noticeable things. So 2 wins for the Porsche.
could get its 50th, and Bryn will make his 100th race appearance in race 1.
The man who's looking good in the Porsche at the minute is this man, Rabbit Joe, and he looks good in the ACC Porsche. What can he do in the Project Cars 2 Porsche? And after something that myself and Kelly learned from Overtaker, the Porsche actually, before we got this season underway, we received news that obviously most of us know this game very well, and the Porsche, when it was out, was a very dominant car. Myself and Gary taking it to multiple championships. But we didn't even realize that the car had been knocked down. It's actually
nerfed.
The game developers have nerfed it, so it's not as dominant as it once was. So where the Porsche would have been the most powerful car in a straight line, you've got the likes of the Audi, the Acura, and the Ginetta all giving it a run for its money. And Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe, and Kelly all seem to be struggling to get the best out of it, including Stel Sloth as well.
They do, and this is a track, Dan, where we expected the Porsche to be a dominant car because of the straight line areas of this circuit. And as you can see, Acura, Ginetta, I mean, we expect Ukbar to be running at the front, but I don't think we expected an Acura 1-2 at the moment. And Ukbar, again, purple sector 1, purple sector 2, goes back into the pit. So is he just doing what you said, Dan, of not showing his true pace at the minute? I tell you what, though, there is no splitting Bozzy Boy and Argent unless Bozzy Boy pangs in that 0.3 of a second that he's about to hopefully do at the end of this lap.
Well, obviously, Bozzy taking a new challenge here tonight. He's taking the cover off his wheel. Let's see if it stays working. He's obviously doing a lot of practice. Maybe is it worth just going in the pit soon and just letting it cool down ever so slightly? We just don't know how his wheel's going to react. Hopefully, Bozzy can make it to the end. But at the end of this session, he's just ruined his lap there as he comes into the final sector.
He was actually purple sector 1, Dan, according to my phone here. He was actually purple sector 1 and took that away from Ukbar and has ruined it. The thing we learnt this week was Bozzy's in like a box room, and it's got the boiler in it in one of the airing cupboards. So his room actually gets hotter in the house when the heating is on, or when the boiler kicks in. That, with it being a small room, is overheating his wheel. We've encouraged him to take the top off his wheel, like Gary did, if you remember, in the 24 hours of Daytona many moons ago. That feels ages ago, doesn't it? Gary took his cover off, which then allowed the heat to just escape better because of the small ventilation on the tops of these wheels. And I'm looking at my Logitech G29 now. It literally has 10 dashes, the small dashes, on the very top, down the sides by the fan. This will hopefully not trap the heat in Bozzy's wheel. We'll let it escape and we'll let it stay cool. If this works, Dan, you've got to feel happy for Bozzy, because we've seen last season at Sakito, lost 2 race wins. Because of it, Oscherslauben, same thing happened again. He was on for 2 good podiums at least. Same thing happened. He sat on 6 points. It can dishearten you as a driver when your gear, especially bearing in mind this is a different wheel to Sakito last season, isn't working properly.
Yeah, no, definitely. With the wheel as well, new change of wheel, new change of scenario. We got a little bit of backing off it. Hopefully the cooling can help him out. But it would be nice to see Bozzy up there. He has had moments of brilliance here in Pro-Am, and it's nice to see him finally get that opportunity to show what he actually can do. We see Shane coming towards the line now, and the top 5 at the minute, only separated by a sector, as Shane goes into 5th after that. So,
he did go into 5th, yeah, and not far off the back of Max Mulder, just 0.3 off the back of him. So the top 6 separated by 0.9, the top 7 separated by a second, as Monkey Boy finds himself in front of Dean Wasocki, and I have no doubt after the ribbing he's had all week, he'll want to stay that way going into the first and second race tonight, Dan.
Yeah, definitely so, as Max comes launching out of the pits and typical lag. But this is the man we want to keep an eye on. What can Ukbar do in this Ginetta? Let's see what his benchmark will be. A lot of drivers tend to do what most of the F1 guys tend to do, which is a cool down lap and then a preparation lap, and then there's a nail it lap. Obviously, with the size of the circuit, with the speed of the cars that we're running, these cars might be up to temperature and ready to go before even they get to the end of their preparation lap, which is the out lap. But it's going to be an interesting qualifier session. The one thing we have forgotten to mention as well, Matt, which in this Sector 1 will be key, especially in qualifying, are these curbs. Yeah. These curbs here at COTA are lethal. They're absolutely horrible. And like I said in the build-up in the track guide, if you've not set up your suspension, if you've not set up the dampers, this sector is really going to upset your car. you really have to make sure that your car can ride these curbs because they are horrible here in COTA.
I think this has been most of the tweaks we've made all week, hasn't it, for COTA, is mainly running the curbs, especially on my car, and I know yourself has been struggling on the curbs a bit more at times. It's been the main setup tweaks that I know I have made myself this week going into this one. 18 people currently watching the stream. Guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified as we are live Pro-Am tonight and Pro tomorrow night. Kelly Davis and Smithy will be bringing you through the Pro action as we head into this warm-up lap. And like Dan said, and this was kind of a reasoning into mine and Gary's car choice this season, of a lot of these tracks, when you actually look at them, are quite aggressive. This, Dubai, Bathurst, being in the middle of its summer, you've got to think. Hard tyres are actually going to be used. They was used last week, they're used this week, they'll possibly be used next week at Catalonia as well. This is a reasoning behind mine and Gary's car choice. It is potentially a season of maybe hard tyre running, but we'll see. Soft tyres tonight, Dan, not even in the question.
Oh, no, definitely not. There's going to definitely be 3 circuits that will be hard tyre. Obviously, Ostrasarben for these guys was wet, so they had the wet tyre.
Yes, true.
Extreme wet. F1 cars don't run them, but we definitely do here at Simplay Motorsport. We're not scared to use them. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Regarding your Catalonia quote, I think being an early morning session, I've done a bit of testing myself, and it will be a soft tyre race, I reckon, for that one. Temperatures around between like 10 to 20 degrees, so the soft tyre is more likely the tyre to be used there. But Dubai will be hard, Bathurst might be hard. Yeah, I think when we get into the European circuits, that's when it would go a bit more colder. Maybe we'll have a couple more American races where there'll be hard tyres as well.
Well, we've obviously got Daytona at the end of the season, and I believe we've got Watkins Glen coming up. We'll have to see about that one. Obviously, the 2 British tracks will definitely be soft tyres, considering that they are night races. Going into this one, Laguna, again, another California circuit that could be hard tyres. Max there has a huge moment through the first sector, and that for Monkey Boy kind of distracts him and has to get him off the throttle. Max and Leon Fernie then back into the pit lane, and already, Dan, you see, look... Sorry, go on.
This is interesting. Ukbar was obviously third in line. He's dropped right to the back of the queue. He's now pretty much the last car to go, and he hasn't been in the pits.
He hasn't.
He stayed out, allowed the whole pack to go through, bar Max. Max obviously back in the pits.
I think Ukbar, Dan, has had a moment. His first sector was a 42 dead, compared to the 33s being pumped in around drivers around him. So has he had a moment, or did he just let them off? That's what we'll see.
I think he let them go. I saw him pull to one side. It was Max who was the lead car that came out. So I think he pulled to one side and allowed the rest of the pack to go. But either way, Monkey Boy is going to be the first man to set a lap time here, and closely followed behind him will be the Ferrari of Bryn as well. And it'll be interesting to see what Bryn can do this evening, because he is the man that everyone's been talking about. Him and Shane especially are the ones to keep an eye on, because they seem to have great pace, but Bryn hasn't had time to show it, and Shane with the wet weather constantly testing for the dry. The rain caught him out at Ostrasarben, so let's see what these boys can finally do. It's not sets a lap time, but it's his out lap.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. I was about to say that Stealth Sloth's lap time isn't representative there. DJ Filler 217, that's pretty much an out lap as well. I'm going to say we're looking around the 2:10 to 2:06 mark. Potentially someone dipping into that 2:05. Monkey Boy, though, with the first time on the board at the minute, and he's not got purple sector 1 or sector 2, as that's gone the way of two different drivers. But Monkey Boy, the first representative lap time, a 2:086. Not too bad from himself. Here comes Bryn 85 then, qualifying for his 100th appearance. Where will let's put him on the grid? Down the line, a 2:10.2. Bryn has actually been in the 2:07s himself. Next car to the line is Rabbit Joe, who's gone at P1. Shane moves into P2 now, and that then is a good qualifying. It was actually Rabbit Joe who set the fastest middle sector. Shane, fastest final sector. Kelly's just gone final fastest sector, the final middle sector. This man is fastest in the first sector. Comes to the line now. What's he going to set as he crosses it? Dips into the 2:07.1. Great lap time from him. Stealth Sloth up into that 2:15 lap time. So good lap from him. Here comes RG Bargy then. If Smithy's going to give out the nicknames, I think we need to. The RG Bargy mobile down towards the start line, crosses that line, only good enough for P5. Kelly, during all of that, went into P4. Worth keeping your eyes on Ukbar, as Dean Wasocki went fastest in that final sector, but didn't set a lap time. So maybe an out lap from Dean that he really started to nail at the end. But Ukbar, fastest in the middle sector, not yet sector 1. Smithy puts it into P8. Who's next to the line? I believe it will be Max Mulder. Argent's back in the pits. You do not, Dan. It's Phil, sorry. You do not want to be in the pits. 3 minutes 55 seconds left to qualifying. You really want to be out there for every lap here because it is a long lap.
Yeah, it is indeed, but obviously with the hot temperatures, you're able to get the tyres up temperature relatively quickly. Phil towards the line. What is he going to do? He's going to go PA, but this is the man we want to keep an eye on. Ukbar into the final corner now. The Flying Dutchman. We've already got a nickname for this man. And the Flying Dutchman towards the line now. Max sets a lap time, but it's obviously an outlap. What can the Flying Dutchman do?
Only good enough for P2 at the minute. So 2.72, 0.272, 2/10 of a second off the back of that Bozzy Boy. Rabbit Joe needs to get out the pit. It's relatively sharpish here. Here comes Monkey Boy then. He's on an improved lap. Rabbit Joe, by the way, had just gone purple sector 2. Bozzy Boy, purple sector 1 once again. So he's improved through that first sector yet again here. Monkey Boy to the line. He's going to set a time and will get at least 2 more laps in here. 1.2 improvement. Bang up into P2. 100th quicker than Ukbar at the moment then. Bryn, I think, is the next car to cross the line. See if his name changes on the standings as he crosses it now. Improves but stays P8. Shane currently in P5. What can he do at the moment as he trundles down? It's a long run from the last corner to the line, isn't it?
It is indeed. There is a car off on the final corner. Is that Buzzy Boy? It is.
It was.
He's had a moment in the final penultimate corner, but 2/10 is really not a lot here. So Buzzy Boy really needs to nail his lap to just extend that gap even more. He did say he's just dipped into the 206s in practice. So
he crossed. Sorry, Dan, he crossed the line with 2:22, so needs to nail this lap if he's to get this one and another run in. Not many drivers improving here, though. Stealth Sloth's gone up into 10th. Dean Wasoki's just crossed the line. He's now gone into 12th, so Dean well off the pace at the moment. Leon Fernie to finally put a lap time on the board. P8, good effort.
Yeah, that's a good lap time there for Leon, considering we haven't seen much from him this week, so we don't know what his true pace is going to be tonight. Smithy in the Acura, the very stable Acura towards the line. He's found some time. He finds 3/10, so he gets within half a second now of Stealth Sloth. So that's going to be a tight fight towards the back men. As that Bozzy Boy's back into the pits, he ain't going to get a lap time in, Matt.
He's done, Dan. So he's risking his luck for a pole position. Smithy in the pits as well. Good evening to Overtaker, who says evening, lads, in the chat. But Bozzy Boy and Smithy done then. Ukbar will cross the line and get one more run here. There was 2 cars ahead of him going for a lap. Max has gone P1, so Bozzy Boy's tactic hasn't worked here then, and he will not be sitting on pole position. Can he be on the front row? RG Bargy puts a lap in behind, stays P8. Dan, nobody's really improving here. Max has given up on his final lap though, so not really many drivers improving at the end of this qualifying session, Dan. And for Max, he's taking a Bozzy Boy risk here. Bozzy Boy, though, P2 at the minute. Monkey Boy will get one more shot at this. He's running a lot of fuel for a qualifying session. P3 at the minute. Needs to find 8/10. Does he improve this time around? Always say it too early. No, he doesn't. Next car, I believe, was Bryn or Shane. It's Rabbit Joe. It is Bryn, the next car to improve, or the next car to cross the line. Can he do anything? Currently down in P10. No improvement there. 2/10. Rabbit Joe. He doesn't improve either. Sorry, he goes P5. Shane doesn't improve. Monkey Boy's now in the pits, Dan.
He is in the pits. Those guys are done. So the top 3 are done. If anyone can upset them, it's probably this man, Kelly. If he can find those couple of tenths, couple of seconds, he might be able to just jump them. But I think the Porsches are so strong in that middle sector. They're always going purple there. That's where the straight line advantage is from these cars.
What has happened to Dean Wasoki? He's going to put a second lap time in now, but his testing time in the week was fantastic. Dean well off the pace. Kelly stays at Stealth Sloth. He stays 12th. Kelly moves up to 8th, but Dean Wasoki there, I take my words back, he's gone 5th.
He has gone 5th, but maybe we did hear he's feeling a little bit under the weather. So possibly just trying to get himself back into a rhythm. Leon there stays 10th, and he goes into the pit. So he's done. It's going to be DJ Phil the first to complete the lap time here. And Phil at the minute, with his teammate not able to put it on the front row at this stage, we all put our money on Ukbar to do well here. At the minute, it's not on pole position just yet.
It's not on pole. He will keep his qualifying record, though, as DJ Phil is going to come to the line. He's currently 12th. Needs half a second to get ahead of Bryn. Smithy will start last. Stealth Sloth will start 13th. Can DJ Phil and Bryn jump Leon Fernie? That's the biggest question. Here comes DJ Phil, then, to the line at the very end. Any improvement on his 13th, on his 12th place? No, he will stay there. This man Ukbar, he's bailed. He's bailed. Argent to the line for his final lap, moves into P7. So then, where is Bryn? This is Bryn and Shane. So Bryn and Shane are here. Rabbit Joe, he's bailed. So top 6 bailed. Argent done. Shane and Bryn, the last 2 to set a lap time. Bryn, can he get in that top 10? Needs a heck of a lap. Shane as well. I'm just looking at my timing screen. Bryn, no improvement sector 1, but in improvement sector 2, as was the same for Shane. Little wide on exit there of the penultimate corner for Bryn. But as it goes down, coming down into this penultimate, into the final corner, can Bryn get out the top 11 for his 100th race? Can Shane get into that top 6 for his next race? We'll find out in just a moment. Here comes Bryn to the line. Stays 11th. Shane to the line now. And he stays 8th, Dan, so no improvement there. But Max Mulder, once again, pole position. Talk us through the grid, Dan, while I update the stats.
Well, as I said again, Max Mulder has taken another pole position here. He is going to be starting on the front row with that Bozzy Boy in the Acura. Great lap from Liam. But Monkey Boy and Ugbar are sharing the second row. The third row is going to go the way of Dean Wasocki and Rabbit Joe. With Argent starting in 7th, 8th is Shane. 9th will be KLF, and alongside a Leon Fernie in 10th, and 11th will be Bryn, with DJ Phil starting in 12th. With the 7th row will be Selfsloth and Smithy bringing up the rear. And also a reminder, Matt, this was the round where we saw a driver make his debut last season, and that's the man who will be starting in 8th place, and he didn't actually complete a race here. Shane, can he make sure he finishes a race here at the Circuit of the Americas?
Yeah, obviously Shenron dropped out. Shane came in at late notice, and we advised Shane that, mate, don't worry about COTA. Test for the week after, and he was like, no, I want to do it. So in he came. He didn't finish race 1 and then pressed the return to race central button for race 2. So Shane here, big boots to fill and make sure he can get the result tonight. Obviously he's learnt a lot. It was on the pad for that race. He actually then got Bryn's wheel for the race after, and we know how good Shane has become. But Max now 7 points clear as he gets that extra point there, and just adds another driver, can I just say, by the way, Dan, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers now all on one, 9 drivers now all on one pole position here at the Circuit of the Americas, with 1 pole position each.
I don't think me or you have ever put it on pole here.
No, we've also never won here. We are not on this list of race winners. And
this just shows how much we're good around here. We've got to make sure we stay away from one another.
So Overtaker, well done tomorrow night.
We're going to try our best, but either way, we'll try and hunt after that Lamborghini, as we found out, which is a little bit OP, as is the Mercedes as well. But luckily in the Pro-Am, we got a lovely even grid in the Pro-Am with no OP cars, other than the Porsche, but it has been dulled down. But Matt, prediction for a race win?
Do you know what? I'm going to go that Bozzy Boy.
I'm going to go Monkey Boy.
Right. Okay. Should we put the poll up, Dan? Or do we not be mean?
I got a good feeling about his wheel today. And if anyone was wondering what the poll was going to be, it's going to be how long until Liam's wheel died.
It was going to be, but we're not going to do that. We're going to put the poll out for who will win in race 1. And Ukbar from P4, I think, is going to be one to watch here, Dan. And as we sync up and we get ready to go, the poll goes out now. 21 people watching, 12 lights. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button as the red lights come on. And for round 3, it's green and go here, and who gets the best launch? Dean Wasocki got a blinding start, as did Rabbit Joe. Dean already pressuring Monkey Boy into turn 1. Bozzy Boy already comes across to cut off Max Mulder's chance into turn 1. Then Bozzy from Max, bit of carnage in the back part of the field, just bumper to bumper. That is Kelly and Bryn who's tapped each other, and that remotes them down the standings already here. Leon Fernie now barging Bryn out the way, but it's Bozzy from Monkey from Max from Dean Wasocki, P4 already, Dan.
Yeah, Ukbar's going backwards, KLF is going backwards, but a relatively clean start other than that little bit of contact. But Liam got the start he wanted, and away he goes. Max just looked like he didn't even get going, he bogged down, and Ukbar didn't even go either. So that's going to allow Rabbit Joe and Dean to jump ahead of him. But it is a Wakasaki Racing who are in the pound seat right now, first and the 4th. And look at Monkey Boy, he's got loads of pressure from Max right now as he will head down to the hairpin.
He has got loads of pressure from Max here, and this then for Bozzy Boy is the dream start, knowing that Monkey Boy and Max Mulder are going to pressure each other, and with Dean Wasocki wanting to get through, that could help Liam out, as it's Liam's teammate. It sounds like we've had a spinner at the hairpin corner. I don't think we have. It just must be the engine of everybody slowing down. But Dan Ukbar there, a dreadful start to his race.
Yeah, not the start he would have wanted at all, so we might get shock here. That Bozzy boy on an American circuit, and he's leading the way as it stands, but obviously a very...
Dean!
Dropped it in the rear.
And he's got to cut out these mistakes. It's one thing that he said, and we mentioned it last week several times, that he needs to stop these mistakes. He's just got too eager, and now he's let the whole pack pass. He had time there to maybe get on the track in a straight line, and was that a tap on Leon Fernie from, I believe that is Smithy, as Kelly then gets past, and Smithy then now P10 as he's behind Kelly, but ahead of Leon Fernie. Dean Wysocki now work to do down in 14th place, and Max Mulder has taken the race lead from Bozzy Boy here.
Yeah, he has indeed, but Liam needs to just stick to the back of him. The Audi looks a little bit unsettled, and Bozzy is all over the back of him once again. Sector 1 is where he seems to be strong. Middle sector is where Max seems to be a little bit better. More importantly, in the background, Arjun is having to defend from the fast-moving Ferrari of Shane, and also Ukbar as well, who's trying to recover from this one. As he's on the outside of Shane, he can get this job done. He'll try and get better traction, but he has got the Acura of Arjun right in the way as he go up to the hairpin, and I think Arjun's just going to push Shane out wide a little bit, but just within track limits. But more importantly, this is going on.
Elbows out here as they come into the S's, and Max yields to place. Bozzy Boy round the outside of the first bend of the S's. Gets it done within the track limits as well. Looks like he was just about to run wide there, and Bozzy, we said off here, you're not really going to overtake at the S's, are you? Bozzy Boy's proved us wrong and back into the lead of this race. Where the Acura, Dan, is it its strongest. Liam needed Dean to not make that mistake and get on the back of these front four. Monkey Boy now, can he put the pressure on Max to take the pressure off Bozzy? Max was wide there. Rabbit Joe right in contention in P4 at the minute. And look at Bryn, he's trying to attack the back of Ukbar now.
Yeah, he is, and KLF's doing his typical thing, just at the back of the pack, just keeping his eye on what's going on, just making his way through the pack, taking his time and being patient.
Whoa!
Monkey Boy runs very wide on exit there. As we see Rabbit Joe, I think just had a moment. I think he went round, he did, but he managed to get going.
Was Monkey Boy on the grass there, Dan?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he was taking an Acura line.
Acura line there. Max then looking to send it up the inside of the hairpin corner. Bozzy Boy breaks earlier, tries to think about tucking underneath, but Max got it stopped in time, and that then has allowed Monkey Boy to come into this, and he's going to have a look up the inside. Can't get the job done there. And for Bozzy Boy yet again, he's lost out in the straight line. Is he just running a bit too much drag on that Acura then at this moment in time? But either way, P2 so far for him, and he's got pressure now from Monkey Boy and his former teammate Rabbit Joe. The last time Joe and Bozzy raced here. Oh no, that's the corner.
That is the corner. And Caleb's actually managed to get past Prince. I think Prince had a moment somewhere. He's lost out to Kelly here, as we see here.
No, Bozzy! He has! He's had Argent. I think Argent's had a moment as well. Round he goes. Bozzy there. Maybe a little unsafe rejoin from Bozzy Boy. We'll have to see. But, Dan, that then has ruined his chance of a race win in this first race, possibly.
It has indeed, and Max Mulder has disappeared into the distance. He's now 2.1 ahead of everybody else. Shane, on the other hand, is having a great race here. I think he's fastest. Yes, he was fastest of them all that last lap. Shane is on the move. Shane is on the move. Ukbar is on the move as well.
Yeah, Ukbar's come through. Now, what's happened to Kelly? Because Bryn's got back past Kelly here. Leon Fernie down in 9th place at the minute. Dean's made his way past Stealth Sloth and has got past Argent. Then Argent down to 14th after his mistake. So the Acura's just struggling then. We're on lap 3, Dan, which means the end of this lap, the pit window does open. A very short Bryn off the curb. And that then has put him across. Oh, Kelly as well. Across the track limits pause there. He's bailed out of that one as Bryn comes back onto the circuit then. But both they're just running off the track limits and both back onto it then, as Monkey Boy now is hunting down. I say hunting down, he's actually losing out to Max Mulder here and being caught by Rabbit Joe and Shane at the moment. Shane once again on fire.
Yeah, definitely. So very different game in this sense. Monkey Boy's really learning to be back in the Pro-Am after struggling for so long in the Pro. He's back in the Pro-Am. He's back at the front end of the field. He has to be patient. He has to take his time. In the Pro, you have to have the pace. You need to be up there with the top guys. But in this one, I think it's all about survival. And Max has got the pace and he's got survival in him as well. He just needs to make sure he stays ahead of the guys behind him.
We said last week, if you let Max go and don't put him under pressure, he will run away with it. If you put him under pressure, he will make mistakes. Bryn then looking for a dive on Bozzy Boy as the cameraman dips too low of Leon Fernie's car. Bryn didn't get the move done on Bozzy. Actually lost a bit of time coming through there. Dean and Argent have both got past DJ Phil then as well. So they're trying to come through the pack towards the back. Leon Fernie attacking the rear of KLF then.
Yeah, definitely giving Kelly a thing to think about. He's gone round, Kelly has, but he's managed to maintain that position. I don't know if that was contact from Leon Fernie or not, but he did go round ever so slightly. But Monkey Boy just seems to be matching whatever Max seems to be doing out front at the minute. Rabbit Joe just on the rear wing of him as well. And it just seems like Monkey Boy's in this like weird zone of just dipping into pro, but then dipping back into pro-am. He just can't seem to find a consistent space to stay, as Max is looking like he's trying to break the toe there.
Break the toe, 2 seconds. I'd say the toe's broken. Monkey Boy, then KLF, first man into the pits at the end of lap 3. Then he's the first man in, maybe to get it out of the way and get some clear air, to get some clear running in then. So everybody's going to overtake him. There goes Dean, there goes Argent, there goes DJ Phil, there goes Stovesoft, and that was a sweet and sour motorsport pit stop there.
I would say more of a shake and bake.
Yeah, we did this shake and bake reference last week.
Yeah, well, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's definitely sweet and sour. Shake and bake would have been a lot faster. But
Sweet. Shake and bake would have took someone's ring off, but we're not bitter about it, Dan.
well, you're still holding on to it. But either way, it's not about us, it's about the Pro-Am.
It is about the Pro-Ams.
Shane is sticking to the back of Rabbit Joe, but they seem to be struggling out a little bit.
Yeah, second, third, fourth, fifth. Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe, Shane, Ukbar, all matching each other's time. 2:09s all around there. Ukbar was the quickest out of them. Bryn now getting onto the back of Bozzy Boy. Was a little quicker than Bozzy last time round. Looks up the inside and just gets it turned in a little bit.
He does indeed. He gets really close onto the back rear wing of that Acura. Smithy on the just ahead of his teammate and Dean, so he's a leading the Acura trio as it stands at the minute. Michaela, first man to the pits, get his pit stop out of the way, and look at his clean air right now. You look on the track map, he is the last white dot. He has nobody in his way. As we see here, Smithy just yielding the place to Argent.
Yes, and Argent's got past Dean Wasocki as well. And Mother Davis, let me know if that's fine now, because it just said that your mic's still crackling. If not, I will change back to the other headset microphone. But Bozzy Boy, for Dean, he's lost out to Argent, and now Argent's getting past Smithy as well. That was why the blue screen was on. Bozzy, he's had another moment then. So he's down to 8th now, behind Bryn and Leon Fernie, and just on the back of... no, that's Dean on the back of Smithy, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Liam has just had a moment. He's behind Leon. Leon's long gone into the distance. He's 3 seconds up the road. So after a great start from Liam, he just seems to be cracking and putting himself under pressure. He doesn't need to. Dean's right on the rear wing of Smithy, and Smithy not allowing him through. As Dean has a big moment there, and DJ Phil just catching on to the back of these guys.
He is indeed, and for Dean Wasocki, he's got all that work to do once again. Bozzy Boy then has decided he's going to bring it into the pits at the end of lap 4.
He is indeed. Is anybody else opted to pit? I don't think they are. They are all staying out. KLF, though, is into the penultimate corner, and Liam is only now just got to the end of the pit lane, or his pit box anyway. So as Liam's now been allowed to go, Kelly's in the final corner. So Kelly coming in very early here. The undercut here might be very, very strong, as Liam is going to lose big time here to Kelly.
He's having a long pit stop there, is Bozzy Boy, and he's lost out massively to Kelly. Don't forget, he's just had that mistake as well, but the undercut, we will see how strong it is. Bozzy Boy's dot now moves, and Rabbit Joe starting to just put Monkey Boy under some more pressure. They've gapped Shane a little bit, and Ukbar's trying to come on the back of Shane. He's in the 208s, is Ukbar, as is Max Mulder, so Max out front just extending his lead, and the two Porsches here are just squabbling a little bit maybe. Rabbit Joe's not close enough yet to make a few moves, but we'll have to see. Shane and the Ginetta of Ukbar behind, having an awesome battle as well. And Bryn will want to get on the back of these two as quick as he can. He's gone from 11th in qualifying up to P6. Not a bad 100th race so far for Bryn.
No, not bad at all. As Dean's had a moment as well. He's now dropped behind Stel Sloth, DJ Phil, and
I wonder
Smithy.
if he had to wait when rejoining, Dan, when he was behind, you know, when he got pushed wide by Smithy. I wonder if he had to wait for Stealth and Phil to come through.
Possibly so, and Rabbit Joe couldn't be any closer to the back of Monkey Boy right now, as Monkey Boy, ooh, that was an interesting line from Monkey Boy. It just, the amount of change direction from that Porsche then was very quick. He managed to get that car turned in very well.
And one thing I will say here is Joe and Monkey Boy, you know, running pretty much the same car, but all the setups, it's going to be the same power. It's going to be interesting to see what these boys will do together here. As Joe, different line to Monkey Boy. I thought he was thinking about pitting there with that different line, but he obviously isn't. One man who is, though, is this man Ukbar, end of lap 5, and in he comes.
He does get his pit stop done and out of the way. Leon Fernie now coming into the final sector as well. He's opting to stay out. So at the minute, it seems to having one car at a time coming into the pits, as Argent now comes down straight. He's coming into the pits, so he wants to make sure that my theory of one car at a time goes out the window.
Yep.
But we see here Smithy and DJ Phil having a good little scrap as well.
Very good little scrap for DJ Phil and Smithy here. So two cars into the pits, Argent and Ukbar as well then, as Smithy will get past Argent and DJ Phil does, and they just get past Ukbar as well. Now, Bozzy Boy to Ukbar is not going to happen. He's too far back. KLF to Ukbar might happen. Dean's gone through past both of them. Here comes Kelly. Where's that Janetta appear? It doesn't. It's just off the limiter as KLF comes past. So Dan, the undercut, like you said, because Ukbar's not made mistakes. Now we've seen the true power of the undercut.
Yeah, the undercuts worked brilliantly there for Kelly. He's done some decent lap times, not electric, but that pit stop from him was exactly what he needed. And obviously, he's going to help out his teammate Monkey Boy massively now, because he's now going to possibly hold up Ukbar. So if we take that into consideration, Bryn is just, Shane is now just got on the back of Rabbit Joe. So Kelly at this rate, if these are all pitted now, he would split probably Rabbit Joe and Shane right now. Someone
needs to be telling them front runners, maybe get into the pits early. Shane, Monkey Boy, you know, if I was Kelly, I'd be saying to Monkey Boy, get in the pits, because if Joe doesn't react and doesn't pit at the same time as Monkey Boy, you've got to feel that Monkey Boy could come out earlier.
Max is struggling with something. He's very wide and his lap times have dropped. He's 2 seconds a lap slower this lap.
We saw last week, race 1, Dan, we thought he changed tyres race 1 last week, didn't we, in the wet? I wonder if he's had another then sort of situation. Is he on the soft tyre? As Ukbar's made a mistake then. And Argent jumps Bozzy Boy as well. So, very interesting here.
Yeah, definitely. So if I was the front guys, I would be looking at trying to come in straight away. That stupid camera there, I've got to stop losing that one. But I honestly think Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe and Shane, all these guys need to start thinking about pitting. Monkey Boy, they all stay out. Max, on the other hand, bails in. Has he done the right thing here? Now, the question is, he's been losing time, hand over fist. Is he going to stay ahead of Kelly? Because also, Ukbar's had a moment in the pit, so has Kelly managed to get his tyres back in the right window, and he's just in the groove here.
Possibly
Monkey Boy,
so.
last lap. It was a 2:09.9. Kelly, the lap before, was 10.6. So he's got pace there to match with the leaders.
Look at Shane's pace, Dan. He's right on the back of these two. He wasn't close to these two a couple of laps ago. A 2:08.8. Is that Max coming out the pits warming his tyres up? Bryn as well comes in at the end of lap 6. And I wonder here then for Max what the plan is. He's out the pits and ahead then of KLF 900.
That was a quick stop. That was a very quick stop. Bryn is still in the pits. Where is Kelly? There he is. So he's going to jump Bryn.
He was behind Bryn at the first round of stops, if you remember rightly.
Max stop? I don't know if he stopped.
He's lost 19 seconds.
I don't think he stopped. I think he had to drive through there.
Bryn came in the pits and has dropped down to P12. And Bryn was just ahead of Leon Fernie, who's now 4th. Bryn's now 33 seconds off. Bryn's only 33 seconds off the lead. Minders Ukbar then. And that's Stealth Sloth, who's also had a moment. So did they come together? Didn't hear any contact. So I wonder if they've both just touched a curb and lost it. And Ukbar having a very Ukbar-style race here. That has brought Bozzy Boy back into play with these two. I'm unsure, Dan, because Bryn is only 34 seconds off the race lead. And he was well up the road. Was he 12 seconds up the road from Bryn? That's the question. Was Max 12 seconds up the road from Bryn, I mean?
I really don't know. I think this is whoa, look at these three here. We got Smithy, DJ Phil, and Dean all battling it out. I don't want to miss the fight at the front. And Shane's lost a massive amount of time. He's 8 seconds off the leaders now.
Yeah, he's closer to Leon Fernie. What has happened there is 3 abreast. 3 into 1 doesn't work. DJ Phil's backed out of it. Argent is at his... No, it's Smithy. Tries to turn in, but Dean's here, so he can't turn in much more. Oh, Dean, careful on putting the power down. Gets it down now. Gets the traction out of the corner. Has to give Smithy the space. Turns in, and Smithy's here. He pinballs off the back of Smithy's car, and DJ Phil gets through as Monkey Boy and Joe follow each other into the pits at the end of lap 7.
Yeah, they do. Shane's going to stay out. This is going to be interesting now. Where is Max? He's in the
penultimate corner.
Section. I don't think he stopped. I think he's had a drive-through, personally.
He did a 2:32.
He had a 2-second gap to these guys.
Oh, Joe's your Monkey Boy in the pits. Wow. By some margin as well. Here comes Max. Let's see the outlap. So Max a 2:32 in lap. And then a 2:16 outlap. Joe, a 2:34 in lap. So let's keep our eye on Rabbit Joe's outlap then, as to whether or not Max pitted or not. Monkey Boy still in the pit. Smithy coming at the end of lap 7 as well. So he's done his stop. He is. He's had a dreadful pit stop, hasn't he? Kelly's now jumped Monkey Boy. Stealth Sloughin as well. Dean Wasocki doing a typical Dean thing. He maybe should have followed Smithy into the pits there, but instead he's carrying on his way. And Bozzy Boy now ahead of Stealth Slough, ahead of Smithy. And Dean continues his fight with DJ Phil. Both of these two yet to pit. The top 7. Sorry, I say the top 7. The top 7 bar Max and Rabbit Joe yet to pit. Joe's come out 18 seconds off the back of Shane, you know, Dan. I think Max pitted. I think his stop was legit.
I don't know. That's a 7 second gap. I mean, that could be 7 seconds of just hold station. Of not holding station, sorry, because we know how these pit stops could be. Rabbit Joe's was like a very decent pit stop, and he's managed to gain 5 seconds on him somehow. So I don't know if that's the undercut power. I really don't know, but it feels like Max. I don't know. Dean,
that was a day late and $1 short, my friend, sending it into the corner, and it just didn't work. Shane just looks like he's struggling for grip out there.
Yeah, maybe.
What's happened to Leon Fernie? Because Max now, he's right on the back of Leon Fernie. Has he had a problem somewhere?
Not sure, but at the minute, these two teammates, SRL Racing, following one another at the minute, and Max is going to be hoping that Leon Fernie gets right out of his way as quickly as he possibly can, because he is on the hunt for Shane. And yeah, Max is he's looking a bit strong here at the minute. He just needs to make sure he needs to cut out the mistakes, as Rabbit Joe will be the one trying to hunt him down now. He's the next net second place driver, as Dean is still trying to find a way past DJ Phil. Shane is now in the pits. He's going to be, I think he's going to drop quite far down. I think he might drop into the Argent fight with that Bozzy Boy at this rate.
I reckon so, as Bozzy Boy trying to look up the inside of Argent. Oh, just a little tap there. Nothing too major from the pair of them. Leon Fernie and Max go through. Rabbit Joe, I imagine, is going to come through as well. Shane's now away. I tell you what, I don't think he's going to lose as many places as we think. It was gingerly. I think Shane here, he's going to lose out to Phil and Dean, but these two are still to pit, as these two are side by side. Kelly's not far in the background. Can Kelly jump Shane as we're on board KLF? Let's see if we can see Shane. He's not even off the limiter yet. Past Shane he goes. Monkey Boy is going to get Shane as well. And Dean up the inside of DJ Phil, you see, in the foreground into turn 1. And Dean Wasocki up into 4th place, but doing a typical Dean thing. And when the undercut is so powerful, Dean and DJ Phil here are going to tumble down this leaderboard.
They are indeed, and the man who's in the box seat for a podium now is this man, KLF, who's just been minding his own business, clear air, running his own race, and he's managed to put himself in the top 3. Now, we've still got Leon Fernie and DJ Phil and Dean all still yet to pit. So right now, Kelly's looking good for a podium, but I'm not going to say anything because I probably will curse him, so move away.
You've literally just said it.
No, I haven't. That's not happened.
Either way, Max and his teammate Leon Fernie out front at the minute, and Leon Fernie pulls to that inside line. Is he defending from his teammate, or is he letting him through? He's not lifted off the gas at all. He brakes early then and pulls back in now. So he did it at the very end there. Oh, bit of a wiggle for Max, and wide he runs, manages to keep it pointed in the right direction. And Leon Fernie there.
That's not going to help.
No, these two don't know what they're doing it with each other, and Leon Fernie helping his teammate out. Max again very squirrely. And he's going to let Leon Fernie go. I think that's the right decision there, because Leon Fernie's going to lose time to the others around him. And Rabbit Joe now gaining some time over Max Mulder as Max started to make some mistakes. If he didn't change tyres, or his tyres going off. Kelly now getting up the inside of DJ Phil. That's for position, and Phil's still got to pit yet. Max wide once again. Has he had a moment, because he's lost 2 seconds to Leon Fernie. And Joe can sniff maybe a race win on his first outing back in the Pro-Am. Let's not forget, Joe missed last season, took a season sabbatical, and he's back. Could he be in for a first win on his comeback?
He possibly could be, yeah. As no keys tonight, so keys were you wanting all the points he could possibly get. And at the minute, KLF also doing a fantastic job in that 911. He's ahead of Monkey Boy and Shane. And Ugbar's just dropping off the pace again. Ugbar, he's having a very Ugbar race where he's just had the pace, but he's just not delivering.
An interesting thing to note, Dan, Leon Fernie didn't pit, Dean Wasocki didn't pit, so DJ Phil has. And for Dean Wasocki and Leon Fernie here, they are going to lose, I tell you now, they are going to lose so much time. As Fury's granddad says, I'm still crackling. So, Dan, I'm just going to change my microphone.
Go for it. As these guys at the minute, KLF Brighton 100 now starting to lose a lot of pace to Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy now in the 209s, KLF in the 211s, but Dean's still yet to pit. Max seems to be off the pace, and Leon Fernie's still yet to pit. So at the minute, the 2 Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros are looking very good on points. So we're looking good for the Wakasaki Motorsport guys. it's looking even better for the Eurosport and 2 old pros.
Yeah, it is. It's looking fantastic for them. Bozzy.
It's Liam.
Not had his best race, and it led it down at the start, was fantastic at the start. He's not been so good since. And for Bozzy Boy then, one to forget. Don't forget, top 7 can't qualify here. Dean and Leon still in that top 7, but are yet to pit. For Bozzy Boy, though, it's now the pressure of Argent and Bryn behind, maybe.
Yeah, definitely so. Rabbit Joe, though, is a man on a mission here. He is trying to hunt down Max. He can see him. He can sniff a race win here. But at the minute, the way Max is running, he could possibly catch his last lap, 2:14.7. I think he's on the soft tyres. I reckon he's pushing those tyres so hard that they're now starting to overheat.
I agree. I don't think Max normally seems to change tyre. I don't think he changed tyre here. Rabbit Joe, I'd say, is in the box seat for a race win at the moment as the 2 Audio Sport and 2 All Pros are being hunted down by Shane and starting to... They're not really actually gaining on Dean. Dean lapping a bit quicker than Kelly last time around. And here then comes Bryn, who's hunting down Argent. He's going to look up. Has a look. You're a bit too far back there, Bryn, and missed the corner.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit, but he'll try and come back at them. But Max sorts line, what's this lap time going to be? It's a 2:08.8, so he's finding the pace again. What does Joe do? He's been matching him near enough every sector. A 2:09.2, so he's
4
there.
tenths difference.
If Max makes a mistake, Joe's there ready to pounce.
Another thing to note then, Leon Fernie and Dean Wysocki still haven't pitted in this race, and we praised Dean for his early pit stops last week. Going long here, and if you lose about 25 seconds for a pit stop, Dean Wysocki needs the driver to be 40 seconds behind him. Dean's going to come out just ahead of Smithy and Bryn. This fight here, Dean will be just in front of these two at the moment in time.
What's happened to Max? Because now Rabbit Joe is within a second.
Right, you remember what you said in qualifying, Dan? About
the curbs?
Not the curbs, about you seem to do a quick lap and then your tyres overheat. If you think Max is running a soft tyre, he did a 2:14 followed by a 2:08. Is it one lap good, 1 lap bad, 1 lap good sort of thing as his tyres cool down? Where's he going here?
He's trying to break the toe there. No, Joe is trying to, obviously, the Audi not very good in a straight line. The Porsche probably a lot better in a straight line. Joe can sniff an opportunity here. He knows that something is up with Max's car. Something is not right. He is basically wounded and he can smell an opportunity for a race win. KLF, on the other hand, is lifting and allowing...
Monkey Boy's quicker, Dan. Monkey Boy's been quicker than KLF, so I wonder if it's let Monkey Boy through, score as many points for the team as possible. Shane now attacking Kelly, round the outside, and Shane's car there very unstable on the brakes as they come down towards the hairpin corner, and Kelly holds position. Ukbar hasn't had the pace tonight I think we expected to see from Ukbar, but Shane at the minute doing an absolute great job to pressure the 2 old pros as he's the young gun in the Pro-Am sort of classifications. Leon Fernie then will start lap 12, still not pitted yet. And Max Mulder has Rabbit Joe hunting him down.
I think Joe's had a moment as well this lap. He's not quite on the back end of Max like he was. A little bit loose there on entry there. But we see here, Shane all over the back of Kelly, and he just hit the bumps the back of him. Pushes him wide. Kelly's going to come back on track and maintain that position.
Yeah,
now.
I think Shane lifted there as well, Dan, because he didn't seem as close to Kelly than what he was when he bumped him. So I think Shane realised he'd...
They're not in the pros, I'm going to say.
Well, if a flash there from Shane was that there. Hey, I don't need to jot that one down. No, he's just turned the lights on, sorry, I think. Yeah, maybe
an apology.
I agree. Shane doesn't seem the kind of malicious driver, does he?
No, as he goes a little bit deep into the hairpin. That's going to allow Kelly to try and get a better run, but he doesn't. Shane gets the better run through turn 2 as we see the leaders now, and Leon Fernie's lost a lot of time to Max and Joe as well. So Leon looks like he's struggling now. But Shane is all over the back again.
Shane! And I don't think he touched a curb there. I just think the change of direction, that's really not going to help the tyres. Ukbar through, pressure off of KLF, and can that Bozzy Boy now get on the back of Shane? Was that a spinner? Have I heard a spinner? Oh, it's Dean Wysocki. Good option from Dean there. reverses right out the way. He gets back going, and he's not pitted. And I said he's going to come out around Smithy and DJ. If that was happened to Smithy, he's just tumbled down behind Bryn and DJ Phil. He's had a moment. Dean, I reckon, is going to be just around Smithy now. Bryn!
Oh, another Ferrari goes at the same sector. So Bryn's at the same moment.
I tell you what, Bryn, there.
Full 360.
Yeah, full 360, back on the power, gone. Bozzy got past Shane as well. Carl's just starting to lose it, Dan. Dean, Smithy, Bryn and Shane have all just lost it within the last couple of laps. So I wonder what is starting to happen here to these cars. Are they overheating their tyres then? Kelly, definitely a bit off the pace. I think he was right to let Monkey Boy through.
Yeah, definitely so. But at the minute, Ukbar is coming back at Kelly. So Kelly's job right now is basically to defend this position as best he possibly can and allow Monkey Boy just to disappear a little bit. Leon Fernie now dives into the pits. He's missed the pit entry.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And we're about to see Leon Fernie tumble down this standings. We reckon maybe towards Argent in P10. And if that's the case for him, how will Dean Wasocki drop down the standings? That's another one you've got to watch. Joe then, straight fight, Joe to Max, matching each other's pace once again. Monkey Boy's a bit too far back in this fight, you have to say. But at the minute, Max to Joe to Monkey Boy. Good stop from Leon Fernie then. But here comes, Dan, the gaggle of cars.
Yeah, all come together cars. Dean has now come through. Leon Fernie, where is it going to drop him out to? He's allowed to go off the limiter now, and he's coming out. Where's Bozzy? There he is. He's going to have the momentum, but by the time they get to the top of the hill, Leon's already gone. So
Leon's already gone. So yeah, P6. So it would have been P9 because of Dean pitting. So a bit better than I expected. Dean's in the pits. So let's see if Phil, Smithy and Bryn can get past as Smithy's got past Bryn. So I wonder if Bryn's had another moment somewhere. Kelly under some immense pressure now from Ukbar just in front of him.
He is indeed, but he's just got to try and survive 2 laps here. The Flying Dutchman is trying to put pressure on KLF right now as Kelly going through this first sector. He's all over the shot through this sector, but Ukbar can't seem to find a way through. Like I said in the build-up, it's very difficult to overtake there, and if you can, it's definitely a miracle overtake. This is to set him up beautifully for the hairpin, but Kelly goes to defend it. Ukbar goes to the outside. He'll try and get the run on KLF as the cameraman is absolutely terrible on this game.
Why is the cameraman so bad at American circuits when you think about it? It's always American tracks.
Hello.
Yeah, that was Leon Fernie and Bozzy Boy. That cameraman's still not picking up. We get the helicam now. Leon Fernie came out ahead of Bozzy Boy, so Bozzy Boy's trying to make his way up. Can't qualify for the next race, can Liam? Now looks up the inside of Leon Fernie, and this is what we were saying about the Acura. It doesn't lose too much. Down the straight, on the brakes, up the inside. Easy as you like for Bozzy Boy. Leon Fernie has to yield that place. Bozzy into P6. Leon down now in 7th place. Dean actually stayed P10. Maybe due to the mistakes that Bryn, Smithy and DJ Phil are making. Dean actually came out the pits. P10. Everybody's pitted. I've actually only noted one thing down here, and that was Bozzy's unsafe release earlier on lap 2. So pros does not bode well tomorrow.
Oh, God. We still got race 2 to get through.
Rear wing. Oh, great.
Don't worry, it won't be me this time.
There's Ukbar here on the back of KLF 900.
Oh,
Kelly
very
very deep at the penultimate corner. Ukbar gives him plenty of rejoining room, and Kelly actually holds the place. Did Ukbar just give him a little nudge, I wonder?
No, he was nowhere near him.
I didn't
he was
think
nowhere
so.
near in contact. So I think KLF just out braking himself and going a little bit too wide. And obviously in the build-up, track limits was going to be watched, and one of those corners was that left-hander. So
not sure,
Kelly
Dan, what's happened out front. Sorry, apologies, but Max Mulder 5.9 now ahead of Joe and was 3 seconds quicker last lap. So Max has got back on it for that penultimate lap, and in this final lap he's going to take one heck of a mistake from him if Joe is to catch. The fight then is for that P4 at the minute, and I tell you what, if these two keep squabbling with each other, Bozzy Boy's only 1.4 seconds off the back of Ukbar. So with a real shout here of gaining a few more places at the very end of this race.
What could have been for Bozzy? Look at his pace, 282. He could have easily been up the front fighting with Max as Ukbar gets right on that curve, not scared of it. He gets a great run. He gets such a good run. He was that fast and couldn't quite get past Kelly. But he's going to be too close once again.
Oh!
His disconnected.
So then, it's not the Acura who was expected to disconnect. Final lap, and we agreed that final lap was points last week, so Argent will score 14th place points. We'll get to qualify in the next race. That then has really helped the other drivers in terms of moving up the standings. Dean will now be in P9. So what happened to Argent there, I wonder? Bozzy Boy, I tell you what, if Kelly and Ukbar have a squabble, Bozzy Boy is right in the box seat to pick up a couple of extra positions here.
He is indeed.
Oh, he's got a look!
Down the inside of Ukbar and he hits him.
Yeah, a bit of a tap, side-by-side contact. Ukbar lost a bit of momentum there. Bozzy's going to still have a look here. He's got to give Ukbar the room. Ukbar's up the inside. And I tell you what, Kelly may have been left off the hook here, Dan.
Possibly so, as Ukbar is trying to defend for his life, but Liam is not letting this go whatsoever. But we go back to this man, who's gone on to win this race.
Yeah, he's gone on to win the race. We wasn't sure about his tyre choice, but Max Mulder then, 2 race wins this season for him. Great start to his campaign this season. What a job for Rabbit Joe as well. His first outing back in the Pro-Am, and he's up on the podium in P2. There he is across the line. Buzzy Boy, as Ukbar went wide, actually gets past Ukbar now, but this man, Monkey Boy, he's going to cross the line for a P3, just ahead of his teammate for 4th place. A great sport for Audio Sport Tour Pros. Buzzy Boy, what could have been for him in 5th place, and Ukbar, we expected more, but down in 6th. That's his best result of the season still. Down in 7th place, and Shane actually got past Leon Fernie in the end, who comes across the line for 8th. And Dean Wisocki, well, all that pace in the week's testing building up to this one has not pulled off anything here. He's down in 9th place, yet to finish yet is Dean Wisocki, down in 9th place. DJ Phil, currently 10th. Dean there just needs to make sure he gets around this corner fine. Yep, he does indeed. So Dean will be 9th place then. DJ Phil is going to cross the line for P10. And for Bryn, not the 100th appearance he'd have wanted here, as he looks like he's had a few more mistakes than just the ones we've seen, as he's got a bumper hanging off. It's going to be 11th place for Bryn, nonetheless. It's good points in the bags to say he missed last week. Smithy will cross the line in P12. Not good points for the SFA Acora Racing team then, as they are... with Argent only getting 14th place. No Welshie tonight, so Stelfsloth down in 13th place. And we await the fastest lap. I think it's Max in the 2:07s, but we will just wait and see, Dad. What an epic end to that first race.
Yeah, what a great end to that race. A bit dull at one point, but we did have some great action towards the end of that one. And Bozzy really putting on the attack on Ukbar there. But it is Max Mulder who is your race winner, with Rabbit Joe on the podium with him, and also Monkey Boy. And Max gets fastest lap as well.
Max does get fastest lap as well. So that then is your classifications. We are going to be right back in just a moment with the second race. Top 7 can't qualify. So Shane, Ukbar, Buzzy Boy, KLF, Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe, and Max cannot qualify for race 2. We'll be back in just a moment.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate.
jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. When we meet, hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're glowing. Golden. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Hey.
when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport here then for round 4 of the championship, and Max, who's taken his second win. Rabbit Joe on the podium and Monkey Boy. We'll get to them in just a moment. But the championship standings look a little like this. Max Mulder leads the way, 68 points from Monkey Boy in second, 18 points behind. KLF, 20 points behind in third. Dean Wisocki still P4, just ahead of Shane and Ukbar, P5 and 6. Smithy in 7th place, tied with DJ Phil, 1 point ahead of Rabbit Joe, who climbs up this championship standings massively, just ahead of Soft. Bozzy Boy in 11th, with Woshi down in 12th. Leon Fernie up in 13th, who we've not yet got back in the session, so we hope he gets back in sooner rather than later. Lucas Roth, Bryn, and then Argent bringing up the rear. In terms of the team's championship, Audio Sport and Two Old Pros lead the way, 22 points clear of the SRL Racing team. Wakasaki Racing are P3 with Terminal Velocity Racing P4. Super Crash Bros in 5th with MC Motorsport 6th. Simplay Racing now off the bottom in 7th, and the SFA Acora Racing down in P8. And we've got our top 3 in. Don't forget the top 7 cannot qualify. That was Max Mulder, Rabbit Joe, Monkey Boy, KLF, Bozzy Boy and Ukbar, who cannot qualify. We've got Monkey Boy in the session with us, and there was no Acoras in front of you today.
No, that was one target I had and I achieved it, so I'm happy.
It was good pace out there. We obviously assume that Kelly let you go at one stage because you had the better pace.
Yeah, are you on about towards the end of the race?
Yes.
Yeah, he was struggling with tyres were going. And he had a few brown pants moments through the first sort of S's section. And then, yeah, we sort of swapped on the big long straight, and yeah, that was sort of thank you very much.
Shane also cannot qualify, just to say he was the 7th driver in that one. Good pace for myself though, Monkey. You just lost out during the pit stops. We found out the reason why, but that's where you kind of lost out to Rabbit Joe and lost all that momentum on Max.
Yeah, I was quite hoping that the little trick would work, but obviously I've learned that lesson the hard way. So yeah, I won't be trying that again.
Race 2, what can you do? It looks like you're going to be starting towards the back end of the grid. What can you do from there?
Just stay out of trouble, really, and then pick them off, hopefully, as I go. See how high we can get.
Well, best of luck for the second race, buddy. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
And we've got Rabbit Joe in the chat with us as well. And Joe, a year sabbatical. You was the defending Pro-Am champ last season. Obviously, didn't get to defend your champion. Sorry, 2 seasons actually you've had out now, isn't it? 2 seasons you've had out. You won season 4, 2 seasons back, and first race on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of went out, rode my own race. I didn't have the best pace, but the Porsche felt planted, and I didn't want to push it to lose out, and managed to get second out of it, which, to be honest, I'm thrilled with.
So yeah, second place. Obviously, no Keeks tonight, so you're flying the flag solo for the team. But like you say, thrilled with a second place. You have to be absolutely delighted with the pace of that Porsche. You nearly got Max at the end.
Yeah, I saw Max was making those mistakes. The Porsche kind of felt too planted. I like a nice loose car. However, I had tyre issues, which I had to change a few things with, and then it was a bit more planted. But I knew Max had outstanding pace compared to me, and that's why I didn't push massively. If I had got him, it'd look.
Race 2, what can you do from what is looking like going to be towards the back end of the grid as well as Monkey Boy? What can you do from there?
I think just stick with the same as what I did in race 1. Race my race, try and pressure people a bit, but let them make their own mistakes and see where it gets me.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Joe. Go and give them hell.
Thank you.
And we've got Max in the chat with us once again. And Max, 2 wins. You seem to be winning the race 1s at the minute. You had it all your own way.
Yeah, it was a good race. Only a few mistakes, but I'm happy with P1.
P1 indeed, a very, very good race for yourself there. A few mistakes at the end. Was it tyres that was the problem?
Yeah, the hard tyre never works for me because I know on a soft tyre I am so much faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can use them because after a few laps they are dead.
Race 2, you look to be starting in the middle of the pack. What can you do for the second race?
Staying out of trouble and hope for top 5.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. Go and get them.
Thanks.
I think there's a certain song released, Dan, that we might have to play if Max keeps up this kind of momentum.
Max, super, Max, super. Is it that one?
No, I was thinking the other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Either way,
back into qualifying we go then. Argent currently on provisional pole with Stovsloff. Leon Fernie is out there on track and back in the session. Smithy in the pits at the minute. He's not going to want that. Bryn out there, as is DJ Phil and Dean Wysocki. Bryn then coming to the line. Currently one of the fastest men out there on the circuit so far. Crosses the line in Sector 1. He's the fastest anyway. We're expecting a good time here from Bryn. We get a good time there from Bryn. 3/10 quicker than Argent at the moment. Another Audi win, Dan. Puts the Audi now on 33 race wins, 21 in the Pro-Am. It's now tied with the Lamborghini in terms of race wins in the Pro-Am. Now, the second most successful car in the Pro-Am category. Obviously, the Mercedes is the dominant car in Pro-Am. We've seen in so many years, Monkey Boy, Fiore, Argent, all them people mean that the Pro-Am, the Mercedes is 55 wins for the Pro-Am. But Audi tied with the Lamborghini, second most successful Pro-Am car out there tonight. Who's your tip for this second qualifying with just under 4 minutes left?
Yes, just going back to the Audi reference, that makes me feel good knowing that the Audi has got pace, but probably not in my hands. Tips to this race, again, it's wide open. We thought Ugbar was going to be the man. Monkey Boy was looking stronger as well, but it was Max who looked like he was on top. He's got a lot of overtaking to do, and obviously you know what Turn 1 can be like. It can be quite congested, it can be quite a bit messy up there. I think it's whoever's going to be able to get through the thick of it. I have a feeling for Rabbit Joe for this one. I don't know why. I just feel like Rabbit Joe can work his way through the pack, mind his own business, and score those decent points. Obviously, with Rabbit Joe and Argent partnered, Rabbit Joe came on and won the championship at the last race by a count back of second places.
Second places, yeah.
So Rabbit Joe knows how to keep himself in this fight, and I think he's going to work his way through the order.
At Bathurst as well, I've got a feeling there's going to be a few haunting memories for Kelly when we get to Bathurst. Obviously his incident with Argent and losing the championship on a countback of second places to Rabbit Joe. I can't wait to get to Bathurst later this season, that is for sure. But yeah, you're right, Joe is well in this, isn't he? Even though he missed last week, he is still right in this championship hunt, and results like that, Dan, seen him gone from by the bottom of the championship already up into P9 and only a point behind Smithy and DJ Phil, so right in contention straight away in the thick of it. Argent's gone provisional pole by 0.6 of a second here. Leon Fernie's actually quickest in Sector 1. Dean Wysocki's just gone quickest in the final sector as he goes 5th, but Dean just not on the pace of what he's been in practice, has he? As Leon Fernie now goes pole.
He does go pole. What can Smithy do at the minute? He's currently in that 8th place position, but we got a very different Dean. Obviously, it's very dry here now. Last week, it was very wet. There was opportunities for people to score points, and he really wasn't. He was there when he needed to be. Maybe race 2, he can work it together. Right now, I think he's just got to just calm down. He needs to get the car back to what it was like at Oschersleben. Very stable, very controlled. I think he's overdriving the car now. This car, we don't praise it enough. It's very, very good in stable hands. It's a car that you can really learn to develop your skills as a driver. It doesn't want to kill you as often. It's very easy to drive. And for Pro-Am, it's very much the suited cars. It was very good in your hands and also Smithy's hands as well to take on that title. But right now, Dean, 8.5 up at the minute, that would easily put him on pole.
It would at the minute as well, and we've saw that Sutty and Phil, when they ran it in the Pro, was very capable in their hands as well. The problem for Dean here is he's got the traffic of DJ Phil, which is not going to be helping him at the moment. Needs to clear DJ Phil and get a good run. He will get one more lap at this, that's the bonus, and right around the outside of DJ Phil. That's lovely from Dean Wysocki there. Now can hunt after him. May have just lost a bit of time behind him. Max Mulder has taken his 6th race win and is now tied with the only G, Kieran Argent, Green Pies and Holty here at Simplay Motorsport. He also has 4 pole positions, tied with Emo Guy, Little Leach, Keegs, Cobb, Laney, NJ and Smokey Devil. But he cannot get a 5th pole position here tonight. Dean Wysocki to the line then. We said his lap time would have been good enough for pole. How much did he lose behind DJ Phil? Quite a bit, a second. But he's only half a second off that pole time now. Stealth's off in the pits. He's done. Who's the next car to cross the line? Because they've got to hurry up. They're running out of time. It's not Bryn, is it? Smithy. No, it's Leon Fernie. Provisional pole sitter, 2/10 clear of Argent. Can Leon Fernie get a pole position to his name here? Don't think he's ever had a pole. Does he improve? He will get one more run at this. He does improve here. Leon Fernie never had a pole position, improves. Now then, Argent to the line, I believe it was. Or was that Smithy? Or was it Bryn? No, Smithy's in the pits. That must be Bryn then to the line. Is he going to find the 1.1 seconds he needed to find to take provisional pole away? No, doesn't improve. So Smithy will start 7th. Stealth Sloth will start in P6. And DJ Phil, Argent, Dean Wysocki all going for pole position. But Leon Fernie still on a lap as well. We'll keep an eye on the timing screen in front of me. Everybody on personal bests. Ball Leon Fernie through the first sector.
Argent comes towards the next delta point. He is up by half a second. He is just within that window. He needs to nail the final sector now. Argent is just a little bit loose through that sector there. What about Dean? He now comes to the same split. What has he found? He's 4/10 up. He needs to find a little bit more, but he did lose a second in the final sector to Phil. So this can all still happen. Phil was also still in this as well. What can he do? He's didn't say his split, but Argent is going to be the first man, and he's half a second up on his.
DJ Phil, according to my timing screens, no improvement at the minute. Dean was fastest first sector. Argent was fastest middle sector. Here comes Argent to the line. Is he going to take pole position and the party away from Leon Fernie here then? Here comes Kieran Argent. Argy Bargy himself. I'm still way too early. Oh, it's not pole position. 2/10 off. Dean Wysocki now.
He got stuck behind Phil in that final sector. There was a second gone there. He just needs to go across the line and he should put it on pole.
No, he misses out. So Leon Fernie then is going to be the man who will get his first ever pole position here. DJ Phil didn't improve, so Bryn stays P4, Dean P3, DJ Phil 5th, and this man on for his first pole position here at Simplay Motorsport. The Audis back-to-back poles tonight. Did Leon Fernie improve at all on his final run? Dean and Argent improved, but not enough, and Leon Fernie did not improve there at the end. But Dan, his first ever pole position, Leon Fernie on that front row.
He is indeed, and that's going to help the team out massively as well. That extra point for him and Max as well. So there will be Leon Fernie riding along the front row with Argent joining him as well. P3 will go the way of Dean Wysocki, and his good old friend Bryn will be riding alongside with him on the second row. Then it's DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth bringing up the 3rd place position. Smithy will start in 7th with Jane. The first of the non-qualifiers will start in 8th. Max right in the thick of it with KLF on the 5th row. 6th row will be held by Ukbar and Rabbit Joe, and bringing up the rear will be Monkey Boy and that Bozzy Boy. It's going to be an interesting turn 1 for sure.
It is indeed. Dan, if me and you get pole position tomorrow night in race 1 and race 2, there will be 12 different multiple pole position drivers on 1 pole position apiece for COTA. Leon Fernie is pole position number 10 at COTA. Everybody's on 1. We've just got to stop Gary Smokey, Peaceful, Halty, Overtaker. There's no Sutty, so that's fine. And Littleach, Littleach actually on no poles. He's on there because he's got a race win. Who's your money on for this race win, Dan? It's wide open.
Like I said, I'm going to stick with my gut. I think Rabbit Joe is going to be the man to come through the pack, but it could be anyone. Absolutely anyone. Yourself, Matt?
I'm going to look at Kieran Argent. I'm going to give him a shout here. I think if he gets in front, he could stay there.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do, but we know what Argent's like. He can make mistakes. Bryn also is up there as well. We keep an eye on Bryn and Dean after a win in race 2 last week. Maybe he's got something in him this time round. Who knows? He was up on his previous lap time before, and he was able to go a little bit quicker, but he just didn't tie it all together in this race. And at the minute, I think Max could work his way through the order as well, but I think Joe has got more of a level head than the rest of the guys on this grid, and I reckon that Joe will come through.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens here then. 100th start, it was for Bryn in race 1. He now starts 4th in race 2. We love a new race winner at Simplay Motorsport. We absolutely love it. Leon Fernie yet to win a race. And Shane yet to win a race, who are on the grid tonight. Could we crown a new winner? Let's wait and see as we are waiting for the drivers to ready up here then. I'm waiting for it to go. Max Mulder in the chat. Good work from my teammate. Indeed it was. And that is pole position number 25 for the Audi. 16 in the Pro-Am. It is now the 4th best qualifying car in Pro-Am, behind the McLaren, the Lamborghini, and of course the Mercedes-Benz, which needs some catching in Pro-Am, I think.
Excuse me.
But here we go then. Syncing up. 1, 2, 3 red lights. And it's green and go for round 4. Dean Wysocki, great start from the second row, and already ahead of Argent, and already challenging Leon Fernie into turn 1. Bozzy Boy's got a good start as well, and Dean and Leon Fernie into turn 1. Who's going to come out the best man? Still Slough, a wide line around the outside to make sure there's no contact. I think Dean and Leon Fernie are still side by side as they come into the S's. I think Leon Fernie's managed to get the place back, and I think, yes, has kept hold of this lead. Kelly's already up into 6th. Phil's dropped down the order a little bit as well, and it's Leon. There's Bryn in the background. Big spin. Oh, there goes Smithy as well.
DJ Phil at the start just did not move. Ukbar didn't have a good start, nor did Rabbit Joe. Oh, the man I picked for this race, Ben, has dropped to the back. Demon Socky in 2nd and Argent up to 3rd. Stealth Sloss had a good race so far, at the start of this race so far. He's up in the 4th, and KLF once again working his way through the pack. He is now up into 5th place position. Shane right on the back of him, but that Bozzy Boy is right on the back of Shane as well. We go back to the leaders.
We're just about to say, Dan, there is, DJ Phil, just seeing as the cameraman didn't pan around, just pushing. It looked Max there out wide. Max down in P10. Bozzy Boy. Oh, that's Bozzy Boy. And Stealth Sloth have had a coming together. And Bozzy's good work is going to now be undone. And he's only lost out to Monkey Boy then. But so stays just ahead of Stealth Sloth. Dean pressurising the back of Leon Fernie. Teammates last year, let's not forget. Dean goes up the inside. He's missed the corner. The cameraman's missed the action. And Dean has to not... In fact, he's got his nose up the inside for the next part, as he must have gone deep. Can he keep it there? At the minute, yes. It will be a double left-hander coming up. Dean can't get across because Leon Fernie's still up the inside. Leon Fernie taking the natural line. Dean very, very wide then. And now Leon Fernie comes out on top. And that was great racing from the pair of them.
It was indeed, and look at this. Monkey Boy's already on the back of Shane. Monkey Boy is a man on a mission here. He knows that a core of Dean Wysocki's in the 2nd place position. He wants to hunt him down.
He does indeed, and for Dean, he's just got to keep a calm, level head. Leon, that Bozzy Boy and Stealth Sloth still battling, and Dean now under pressure from his Acora partner in crime, if you will, not his teammate though, Argy Bargy, just behind him as Max Mulder now has got past DJ Phil and past Stealth Sloth and is now on the back of that Bozzy Boy. We come to the end of lap 1, and Rabbit Joe still P14 out of 14 at the minute. Here comes Argy Bargy on the back of Dean. Dean goes defensive, breaks into turn 1, and Dean this time gets it slowed down just enough there and comes through it better off than Argent so far. Shane really pressurising the back of KLF with Monkey Boy just behind him, and Kelly's got some work to do in this second race, Dan.
He has indeed, but he's
it's
Rabbit Joe. Oh, Rabbit Joe just avoids Bryn there, but if Rabbit Joe times this right, he can do what Kelly did last time round and get the undercut. Kelly obviously in a race right now. He'll want to focus on trying to make sure that he can stick to the leaders, and right now, Leon Fernie leads the way. Dean Wysocki's just within reach of him, and Arjun right now is just on the back end of Dean as well.
He is as well. So Dean and Argent fighting together in the Acura to try and catch the Audi, but so far it's Dean out to doing Argent at the minute. Shane on the back of Kelly. Kelly goes defensive. Shane will try to go around the outside. Does he know? Tries to tuck back underneath. Great little move that from Shane. A bit of contact from the two there. Did Shane just tuck underneath as Kelly made the apex? Either way, a flash from Kelly. Was that multiple flashes there, I wonder? As maybe they stewards will have to take a look at that one. Silly rule, if you ask me. But either way, Kelly's going to come back up the inside, and Monkey Boy might make this three wide. The run that Monkey Boy's got, bails out of it. Kelly now looking up the inside of Shane. Shane gives him the place back, tucks back underneath, and Bozzy Boy's right there, Dan.
Yeah, he's joining action. Archer's now got ahead of Dean Wasaki, but this KLF is his favourite line is the trolley chain. Trolley chain. Oh, I can't even say it. Train. He's now causing that. He is the man who's holding everybody up. Monkey's gone round.
Monkey's gone round.
That Bozzy Boy.
I'm not too sure then. Buzzy Boy's got ahead of Monkey Boy, and I'm sure that's a sight Monkey Boy's dreading already. Ulkbar still down in 10th. There was all the boys. Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe 13th. Ulkbar still down in 10th. Hasn't made the progression tonight. I think we expected Ulkbar to make. As Bozzy then on the back of Shane as Kelly stays in front once again. There is Smithy, Rabbit Joe, DJ Phil and Bryn. Joe trying to get back up to pace with these guys. And Dean just losing time to Argent then as Argy Bargy tries to close down on Leon Fernie.
Dean just needs to keep himself under control, making sure he doesn't do a Wakasaki windmill as Shane goes up the hill now. And he just misses his brakes. He goes a little bit loose. So does Kelly. And hello, that's Bozzy Boy. But Shane gets a great run. Kelly gets completely mugged by the Ferrari and the Acura. Yeah,
Kelly giving Shane a few flashes there. Liam and Kelly there leaning on each other a little bit. Bozzy Boy gets through once again. And I tell you what, who's that? Who's that? Was that Kelly? It was KLF. So did he just get unsettled on the curb then because he was behind Bozzy Boy? He's dropped now to 10th place. I tell you what, Dan, the Gucci and Prada handbags, apparently we got called that is Bozzy Boy.
Bozzy's having a moment. He's just maybe overheated the tyres ever so slightly. They've come together. Kelly and Bozzy have hit each other. They've both gone round. Liam is facing the wrong way. Kelly's facing the wrong way. And they managed to get going. And the whole pack comes in now and swamps them. And look who's
Monkey
in the middle
Boy.
of that.
Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy's had a moment, Dan. Look at the damage to the front of his car as well. He's had a big moment somewhere. He's been in the wall. And look at this. Smithy, Rabbit Joe, DJ Phil, Kelly, Liam, Monkey Boy, Bryn's on the back of these somewhere. And it's all handbags. Where's the They've took the handbags off of me and you. They've chucked them onto Bozzy and Kelly at the minute. And they are barging their way through. Joe on his former teammate Liam on his former teammate Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe on his former title contender at KLF. Max is now ahead of Shane. So what's happened to Shane is Stealth's on the back of him.
Stealth keeping his nose clean and staying out of trouble is up there in P6. What a drive from him so far, as Leon Fernie is extending his gap. Argent currently in second, Dean Wasaki in third, Max is currently in fourth, Stealth now fifth, as Shane's gone round.
Shane has gone round. There goes Monkey Boy. There goes KLF. There goes Bozzy. There goes Joe. No, Shane and Bozzy and Joe didn't get past Shane. End of lap 3, Dan. I'm expecting drivers to come into the pit lane here. I really am.
Well, Max goes through. These two managing to go through as well. Monkey Boy probably bails straight in as he does so right now. So in the pits he goes. KLF's going to stay out. Shane comes in. Bozzy stays out. Rabbit Joe stays out. And Phil stays out as well, but Smithy also in as well. Bryn's had an absolute shocker on his 101st race.
Yeah, he's not had the best of races. Bryn probably getting back into the flow of things, hoping that his Wi-Fi stays as it is. So 3 drivers into the pits and Stealth's fighting Ulkbar for 5th and 6th. Ulkbar's just not had it tonight. Bozzy Boy, I'm surprised we didn't see him come in. I really am. Leon Fernie from Argent, from Dean, from Max, then out front already. And it wasn't that Max had problems, it's that he didn't like the hard tyre, and that is why he starts to struggle. So then, the more Max struggles to come through the pack here, the more that the front 3 can escape up the road. Dean actually matching the pace of the 2 leaders out front last time, Bozzy and Kelly. They're going to go at it once again, and Shane and Smithy have jumped Monkey Boy, who must have repaired damage.
Yeah, he must have had big damage, even though he was learning to try and do the cheat or the glitch, whatever you want to call it, the clever tactic, the shake and bake pit. It's not worked out, obviously, because he's got major damage. Bozzy now trying to pass Kelly once again, and he bumps into the rear of Kelly. Kind of Plato-esque there, just stopping on the apex, and Bozzy had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. It's just a little handbags from these Pro-Am drivers at the minute in this second race. And yeah, not the start. It does make me feel better for tomorrow night. Yes, I was just about to say the same thing. It's all chaotic at the moment. I'm wondering if we see Bozzy and Kelly pit here. Liam, if he's got damage, get it done early, because we saw the undercut it made last time around for Dean Wasocki then. Just now, Dan, looks like he's got into a rhythm behind Argy Bargy.
Yeah, definitely. So I think all these guys are starting to get into a rhythm. The guys in front are the only ones who's been in the 209s and 210s. All the way down to Ugbar. No one's really been on those pace. Ugbar's been in the 213s.
Oh,
Kelly's lost the rear wing!
He's got no rear wing! And Davis has no rear wing! Shame it wasn't that way round last week.
Leon's in the pits already. He's got his pit stop done straight away, but Kelly will be straight in the pits and he will not be happy. I know what that Porsche's like with no rear wing. It is pretty much a beetle. It is useless.
Kelly's very fortunate. He's very fortunate, Dan, that he's at the end of the lap and not at the beginning of the lap and have to do 2 laps like I did last week, because it was horrendous. Oh, now DJ Phil wants to come into the pits as well, and Kelly's trying to get into the pit lane. Kelly's in, Phil's in. It's all going off here.
And it's two Acoras leading the way at the minute. Monkey Boy is now on the back of Smithy, and these two haven't had the start to their race either. So, as I say that, Arjun's had a moment.
Arjun has had a moment, and Dean Wasocki once again leads the way in a second race this season. And at the minute, Dan, Rabbit Joe pitted as well, just to say in all of that. He's trying to get an early pit stop done. Out he comes now. He's jumped Phil and Kelly. Kelly's going to be in there sometime, you'd imagine. Oh no, actually. It's all right for some, isn't it? Hey, you know what I mean?
I think you only had rear wing damage, and that was pretty much it. I think you had more damage, obviously, due to the contact between myself and you. Obviously, the earlier end of the circuit, you had to do a whole lap with no rear wing. Kelly only had to do 2 laps. He only had to get through the final sector, so he's managed to do that.
Yeah, I think I span and hit the wall as well, which gave me more damage, because obviously I had to wait for the pit window to open. A whole debacle. Argent now right in front of Max Mulder then. Argent made a mistake this time round. Dean now 4 seconds up the road. If you're Dean, Dan, would you bring it in? He pitted late race 1. Would you bring it in now?
Well, yes. The way these races are falling out, it looks like the undercut, the pros will be looking at this. The undercut is very, very powerful. And if you've managed to figure out your maths and figure out your session, you might be able to time your pit stop to perfection and get the jump. If I was Dean, I'd be coming in as soon as possible. There's a nice gap behind Bryn that he would drop in. Well, he'd be behind Leon Fernie, so he'd drop between Bryn and Leon Fernie. I'd come in now, get it done. But he isn't. He's staying out.
He isn't. And is Max going to come in? Max is pulling the trigger, and into the pits he comes at the end of lap 5. Oakbar is pulling the trigger, and in the pits he comes at the end of lap 5. And here comes Leon Fernie on Bozzy Boy. I'm surprised Bozzy Boy's not pitted, Dan. Looking at that Acora, it's a bit battered. And is that why Dean didn't pit? Because Bozzy Boy comes in now.
He is, and he's missed the pit, and he's nearly ended up in the wall.
Dear, dear, dear. It's going bad to worse for Bozzy Boy tonight. At least he's here with us. I suppose that's the biggest thing. Shane ahead of Rabbit Joe. This fight for P9 at the minute. Bryn is 8th. Bryn yet to pit. Will we see him? And no, I think he's carried on his way. The dot on the map goes down and carries on. Max already out the pits behind Leon Fernie then. And will Bryn get ahead of Max? No, he will not. So Leon Fernie, net leader still. And Dean really wants to make sure he carries on his way here.
Yeah, definitely. So Monkey Boy, Smithy and Kelly are all on a recovery drive now after a poor start to this race, but anything can still happen. We're just coming up to the halfway stage. Leon Fernie very slow through that sector, as was that Shane losing the position to Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe trying to do the undercut, but he can't quite get the job done. And Leon
who's
Fernie
that in the background?
Back of Stealth.
Bozzy Boy and Monkey Boy coming battling, and as Bozzy Boy was leaving the pits, he was slow and let Monkey Boy back through.
He's got front bumper damage again.
I wonder if it's just not repaired it on our screens, because Monkey Boy's front end's still smashed up, so I wonder if he's not done aero damage. I wonder then, Dan. Well, we'll find out how Bozzy Boy does throughout the rest of this race. KLF ahead of DJ Phil, down in 13th place, 5 seconds off the back of Smithy. Rabbit Joe still on the back of Shane. Stealth Sloth currently running P3, although he's side by side with Leon Fernie. And here comes Leon Fernie. Will he just yield that place to Stealth Sloth into the hairpin? He does indeed. He's going to try and tuck underneath. Can't get it done there. And Leon Fernie once again carries on his way at the moment.
Bryn and Argent need to start thinking about pitting. They need to start to think about coming in, because the longer they stay out, the more Max is more likely to undercut them. Dean, down the back corner.
Not in.
He likes to stay out long, and it doesn't ever seem to work for him. Argent's staying long as well. I don't understand this.
Leon Fernie tuck in underneath Stealth Sloth and into the Istanbul type corner. He gets the job done, and Stealth Sloth yields that place. Will we see Stealth Sloth dive into the pit lane now? Because it's just Argy Bargy, Bryn, Dean and Stealth left to pit in this race. Here's Ukbar then on the back of Bryn. If I was Bryn, get it in now, see where you come out. And Stealth Sloth, exactly that, look, loses out to... just manages to avoid the wall. He'd have lost a bit of time there, but in the pits he comes, and that will release Max into P4 in this race. And Dan, how many times, Bryn's in as well, how many times do we say it about Dean? He can't seem to read a race situation.
No, he can't. He should have learned from race 1 that the undercut was working so well. Many cars were just popping in and out of positionings left, right and centre, and the Stealth Sloth's in the pits. It's going to be a great race for him. Welsh is going to be very happy with this one as he's sitting and watching. But right now, as you see in the background, I think that was Bozzy on the inside of Monkey Boy, and Bozzy really getting his elbows out in this race.
He really is in this race, making sure he holds no prisoners.
Oh, it's going to be tight. Stealth Sloth up into turn 1. Monkey Boy on the outside. And there is Stealth Sloth entitled for racing room. And Bozzy tries to come underneath the pair of them. Bozzy nearly dropping the rear there. And he's all over the shot.
Yeah, Stealth Sloth trying to resume his race after he's come out the pits. P8 for him at the moment. And he's brought himself into this little scrap here. Bryn's come out the pits P13, so just the two race leaders yet to pit. Now, Dean has actually gapped Leon Fernie a little bit, and has had Max close the gap. Monkey Boy very wide, and that's allowed Buzzy Boy up and into another place.
Liam, also, I'd like to mention as well, his wheel managed to actually get to the end. So this taking the casing off has actually managed to help him out. KLF now up into 11th. He's slowly working his way through the order. He's done Smithy. He's now done Bryn. His next opponent is actually his teammate, but he's currently a bit off at the minute. But he is slowly making time on this. These guys are too busy scrapping with one another.
Liam's got past Stealth Sloth, and so Liam now up into P8. And Liam was very happy. He texted me in the mid-session break, 14th to 5th. Happy with that. So seemed to be very, very happy with the work he'd done in that first race. Dean out front then carries on his way, as does Argy Bargy then. Why are these two not pitting? I do not know. The last two drivers to pit. What's happened to Leon Fernie? He has. And Max now gets through, but Max is closing on Dean and Argent.
Max is flying. Max is absolutely flying right now. Whatever happens right now, Max is possibly going to be in the net lead of this race because these two are just leaving it too long. Dean at the minute is doing 2 minute 10.1. Max on this lap, it looks like a decent lap from him. What is it? 2:08.8. He's nearly 2 seconds a lap faster. Sorry, a second and a half faster than Dean at the minute.
Yeah, and Dean's just... And again, it goes down to reading the situation. And why Liam hasn't said box, why Dean hasn't thought of pitting, I do not know. Either way, the Acura losing time to Max Mulder. It's not just Dean, though. It's Argent as well who's losing the time. Here is Kelly. Has he had a moment somewhere? Because he's lost out to Bryn.
I think he has a little moment somewhere, but that Bozzy Boy and Monkey Boy have both now cleared Stealth Sloth. And I hate it when these two are on track together because I keep saying boy too much.
Joe has got past Shane up front as well. Joe's ahead of Shane by some margin as well, Dan. So Joe at the minute going great guns so far in terms of his comeback, trying to get closer to the back of Ukbar. Dean and Argent here, we reckon about 25-second loss for a pit. It's a short pit lane, so Dean and Argent could lose. They could have come around Max and Leon Fernie, I reckon, in the pit lane, in the pit stops. But they've got it. That's pitting now.
They do have to. They have to do something soon because they're going to run out of time. The more Max is left out on his own, the more he can just keep focusing on his race. Yeah. There's nothing else to worry about. We've learned this with many of the drivers as well, and in pro, we were all too busy racing one another and overtaker. As soon as he got the opportunity to disappear, he disappeared. Yeah, and it's the same situation here for Max.
You cannot, Max, look, 2:08.8 best lap. He's up on his Delta once again. You cannot give this guy anything. Dean carries on. Argent carries on. I'm really flabbergasted by these two's strategy.
Unless they start pumping in 2:08 and matching them, I really don't see this working out. Dean towards the line now. What is it? A 2:10 again. It's not
quick enough, Dan.
It's consistent, but it's not consistently quick. Argent, he went 0.2 faster, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, but if Max crosses that line and does a 2:08, he was up a 10th, don't forget. So if Max crosses that line and goes a bit quicker, it's just not quick enough from the leaders to get past. Is it quick enough to keep ahead of Leon Fernie, who looks like he's struggling a little bit? Sure. Is it quick enough to stay over Ukbar, even though Ukbar's doing 2:08s? Sure. But Ukbar in the 2:08s, he's going to slowly work his way onto that back of it. And look at that 8/10, 2:08 dead. 2 seconds quicker than Dean, 1.6 quicker than Argent. This race is game over already when them two pit.
Yeah, Ukbar in the 208s again as well. So Ukbar has got himself in the zone, and he is now, we said, he's a man to watch out for in the at COTA, and he is slowly working on the same pace as the Audis. He's not just obviously catching the leaders in their fight for the pit stop, but he's catching Leon Fernie in outright pace. He was, what, a second and a half faster than him.
Now, what's happened to Monkey Boy? He's lost out to Stove Sloth. There is Monkey Boy just in front of this battle. He's lost out to Stove Sloth. Massive amounts here. So has he had a moment somewhere in this second race? Yeah, definitely had a mistake somewhere then. Look at the rest of the pack. Shane in the 208s. So Shane, keep pumping in them lap times. He's going to slowly bring himself into contention of Dean and Argent.
This is the problem with this circuit. You really do have to be in a groove. The likes of Max, who is in that zone right now. Shane is actually a 10th up in his first sector, so he's flying at the limit. Rabbit Joe has had an okay lap on the 2:10.4, but Shane is now coming back at him. So has he now got past the worst stage of his tyres, and is he now back on the attack of Rabbit Joe?
Well, Dean and Argy Bargy are coming through the Istanbul corner. Shane there, a little wiggle. Dean's got his wipers on. You know it's a Pro-Am race when Dean's got his wipers on in the sunshine. And Dean now decides to come into the pits. Lap 9 he's pitted, 3 laps earlier. Oh, he's just avoided the pit wall. Argy looks a bit too quick as well. And he's just avoided the pit wall. Dan, take note. Slow down for the pit entry tomorrow night.
I think I've got that covered. But I don't think this will be quick enough. Dean's halfway down the pit straight. Is it a good stop? No. It's long.
It's long.
Max.
It's very long. It's very long. It's not great at all. We didn't see Argent. No, this is done. Dean's got till that little white marker just underneath the sign is where Dean can come off the limiter. Max will be in the lead of this race. He's past Argent. He comes past Dean. Good night, Max Mulder. Race win number 3 this season. Leon Fernie could be interested. Any longer, Leon Fernie and Ukbar would have had both of them. Leon Fernie might actually split Dean and Argent here.
I think he has done. Argent goes up into turn 1. He hasn't split them, so he's just come out right behind Argent. So now can Leon Fernie work his way past? Leon, that last lap still wasn't a great lap time, but the man who's on the move is this man, Ukbar, a 2:08.4. Rabbit Joe,
look at Max's last lap. There's no wonder Max got past him. Look at his last lap. Oh!
Big moment there for Max. Where is Dean? There he is. Oh, Max just in time managed to get back on track, but Dean
he's yielded. He's yielded. Yeah, and Max yielded the time. Right, Max yielded the time. Where's Argy Bargy then in the background? Is Argent on the back of him? Not close enough. So I say look at Max's time. And like last week, Dan, when Dean was behind Max Mulder, Max made a mistake. Right, KLS just got past Bryn in the background, but we'll stay with this for the time being. We'll just jump back to him a second then. There's Stealth and Monkey Boy. Monkey catch in the back of Stealth. Bryn! No! Oh, yeah.
Bryn goes round. Here is Dean. He's got to defend the inside here, but Max is going to go around the outside. Bryn's just got to stay as wide as he possibly can. Max had a look at an opportunity there. Dean's just opened the door for the next sector here, and Max going to have a sniff up the inside. Dean gives it plenty of racing room, which is perfectly good racing here from Dean as they go side by side. Leon Fernie's lost time to Argent, and is now under pressure from Ukbar.
The outside of that corner there isn't the worst because you then come straight up the inside for the left-hander, and Dean there, you know, whether he meant to do it or not, staying on the outside was actually the better line. Dean then behind Max Mulder really needs Argent to get on the back of Max to really put Max under some immense pressure here. Max has got to try and get past Dean. He's got to force the issue, which means he's got to start driving a bit more on the edge like that. Dean goes defensive, just sticks to a line, look, Dan, and Dean defending really well at the moment from Max Mulder. And now Max got the run out the final corner, comes to the inside. Has Dean gone across enough? Max is left, right, he's all over the back of Dean Wisocki, and up the hill they come. come now. Argy Bargy's not with them. Max comes across to look up the inside into turn 1. Dean hasn't shut the door. Has Max gone deep? No, a little bit, but he's managed to get away with it.
Dean gets the undercut. Dean gets the undercut, and he's not going to get the run. Max has managed to just get it done into turn 1. But we know Max can make mistakes. He's done so already. So Dean just needs to keep pressurizing him. He just needs to sit there. But Archer's there as well. Meanwhile, in the background, Ukbar is all over Leon Fernie.
He is indeed. Ukbar wanting a podium. It is one of his best tracks this season. Dean, look, up front, right on the back of Max. Ukbar, just a little strange line through there. Oh, wiggle for Max. Dean had to get out of it, which brings Argent onto the back of him. Now gets the power down, does Dean, and Max just looks a little all over the place, Dan, at the same stage of the race as he did last week.
He went wide, he lifted, so he gave the time back, but Dean is looking all over the place as he hasn't looked down the inside, but thinks better of it. Argent now just sitting there, patiently waiting. Max trying to break the toe there. Dean thinking about following him, but he's decided to go middle of the circuit. He seems to be more worried about Argent at this point, but Argent, he's in a great spot right now. He could just watch these two fight. Meanwhile, Leon Fernie still under massive pressure from Ukbar. This is a great little scrap towards the end of this race.
Yeah, great little scrap. 5 for really potentially the lead then. Dean breaking early. Is he worried about losing it on this corner? Maybe learning from what happened in race 1, perhaps, as Liam tried to get on the back of Shane. I tell you what, all it takes is for Max to have one more spin down and he's down in 5th.
He is indeed. He's really got to stay squeaky clean now. He says he doesn't like the hards. Kelly's had another moment as well. It looks like Smithy is back on the rear of him as Kelly has got damage.
Oh, that's big. That's worse than what it was earlier. Argent right on the back of Dean Wasocki for second place. Ukbar is through. Leon Fernie's off and round. That could help Rabbit Joe out in terms of catching Leon Fernie then. Joe once again trying to catch one of the Audis, and Dean just sliding and pushing a bit too much maybe for this race win. Second place is still great points at the minute, although Max will be extending his championship gap immensely because Monkey Boy and Kelly having a bad race. Max just looks very snappy off the corners.
He does, but I think it's him going straight to defence, and he goes straight to the inside, trying to break the toe. And obviously, within the car's length, he can't obviously do that. But once he's got a bit of clear air, he can start trying to break the toe himself. So he doesn't wiggle as such. Oh, he has a big moment there.
He did indeed, and to the S is where he struggled compared to Dean Wasocki. In recent times, Dean looked just closing that gap as Bryn now behind Kelly and Smithy. All of these, both Kelly and Bryn here, just keep seeming to be dropping it on their own. Dean gets right close to the back of Max here through this section of the circuit, Dan. Dean, we knew he was good through sector 1 as a slide, and all that momentum is lost. And now, Max just stretches his legs once again.
He does indeed, but Max doesn't seem very good. Oh, he has another moment. Max is all over the shop through sector 1. Dean needs to tighten up sector 1, make less mistakes. And while these guys are all too busy scrapping over each other, Ukbar has now turned up on the scene.
Ukbar's turned up on the scene. We've got Shane gaining on Rabbit Joe. We've got Bozzy Boy and Monkey Boy within a couple of seconds of each other. We've got this three as a little battle. What an absolute race we've got on our hands. Good evening to Gary131. Evening, lads. Hope all have pitted after the pit lane open.
Dean's got ahead of Max.
Dean has got ahead of Max. What's happened then? The only 2 drivers to win a race so far this season. And Dean is back in front of Max Mulder. And here comes Argy Bargy. The cameraman is useless. Argy Bargy a bit of a wiggle on exit. And Ukbar is getting very interested here. Max goes deep. Argent has a look. Dan, we can't take our eyes off this battle at the front of the minute. It is interesting. Max on the inside of Dean. He taps Dean round.
He has, but has Dean got going? Yes, he has. Dean's managed to get it going and stays in the lead of the race. So Dean's just put his foot to the floor and off he went. His tyres are going to be very hot though and very twitchy. Max, how did these two manage to keep hold of the race lead, and how did Arjun and Ukbar not pounce? Meanwhile, Monkey Boy is all over the back of Bozzy Boy. KLF still trying to survive, and all these guys seem to turn up to the sector of the track where the cameraman is terrible.
Where the cameraman is terrible, and we're going to start the penultimate lap of this race. Dean's got to come across. He can't now though, because Max, he can now. Dean straight to the left, and he makes sure that he carries on there, because Max did him at this point 2 laps ago. Dean, is he going to go left a little more? He makes Max go to the outside. Hopefully Dean's got it stopped on the brakes. Argent lunges, nearly hits the back of Max. Has he thrown away a podium? Not just yet. Ukbar's not got alongside him. And Max, does he yield to Dean Wasocki? No, Dean's the one who yields to Max.
Oh, Dean.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh, great move. Great move from Dean Wasocki.
Max just keeping it solid. He's trying to go strong on the outside, but Dean, with that advantage through sector 1 with the Acura, has managed to work his way back to the race lead. Leon Fernie is slowly creeping on these guys. Uber, last lap, 2:08.8.
What a race from these boys all this race. Rabbit Joe in the 2:08.8s as well, pulling away from Shane. Monkey Boy's got past that Bozzy Boy for 8th and 9th. In fact, no, they've squabbling back. They're side by side through the S's now. You can't take your eyes off the drama here at COTA. Bozzy Boy's going to try and be brave and gets the position back over Monkey Boy. As here comes Bryn on KLF. Smithy's in front of the pair of these two, and these two have a gigantic battle. It's whoever's got more damage. Dean 6/10 ahead of Max in the minute, who's just only 3/10 up the road from Argent. Dean can sit pretty in a minute because Max has got to start defending from this man who's got to look up the inside into the hairpin. Does he get it stopped? No, he doesn't. Argy Bargy out braking himself, and Dean was very early on the brakes. Max now on the back of him.
Yeah, Dean's very, very cautious into that sector. Max is much, much faster in there, as is Argent. So it's concertinaing up nicely there. It's Dean really defensive. He really stops his best line going through there and allows all the guys to really get onto the back of him. Argent, Max, all these guys right on the back of him. We're on board with a Max. We go through the COTA, and he luckily doesn't take the Max Verstappen line because he will be demoted from the race team if he does across the track.
Pretty much like Max Verstappen was at COTA when he took that line on the podium with Kimi Räikkönen in the Formula 1. Dean defends yet again. Argent, he's not close enough. And Dean and Max, for one last time, Dean has to come across to the left again. He does so. He's got to come fully across to the left. Don't give Max a sniff up the inside on the last lap. Max is going to have a look up the inside, is he? Dean comes across a bit more. Max thinks of it. Now he goes up the inside. Does he get it stopped? Big slide! Big spin! Dean's hit him! Oh, Dean's hit him! Argent's hit Dean! Oh, Boz hit it! Oh, my days, Dan! They've all hit each other! Leon Fernie's up! Dean leads the race! Argent's in second place! Max is down in third on the last lap! What drama here at COTA! And oh my days, Bossy Boy's got back ahead of Monkey Boy! Bryn and KLF have been passed by DJ Phil now!
I think Kelly's got major damage. He's just getting home. Look at the state of that Porsche. So is Bryn. They're just getting home. But more importantly, Dean Masaki, the man who goes on to take race 2 wins at the minute. He's in that first place position. But Argent's still there. Max is all over the back of him.
Dan, what an absolutely epic race this has been at the very end. Dean Wasocki and Kieran Argent have absolutely put on a demon display. We said they'd left it too late. They've given it just enough time. Max passed Dean. Max span. Dean hit him. Argent hit Dean. Ukbar hit Argent. It all tailed up. Leon Fernie then got past Ukbar in all of this. Shane's trying to come back at Rabbit Joe. Liam and Monkey Boy are still having a gigantic battle. But Dean, halfway down the back straight now, has really got himself a decent gap. The cameraman does not like that corner. Good luck Kelly and Smithy tomorrow night. Dean leads this race from Argent, from Max, from Leon Fernie. Great points for the SRL racing team yet again tonight in this second race. And Max here, can he mount a late charge for a second place?
What was that? Argent go? These guys are all so tight. Dean, keep it together.
Has Argent lost it? Argent's lost it, Dan. Argent's lost out to Leon Fernie. Where's Ukbar? Ukbar's there. So Argent's lost out to a podium. Leon Fernie could be on. No! Oh no, you can't ride this! Max on the outside of Dean Wasocki. Can he get on the inside for the last corner? Dean comes back. Just enough room there to defend from Max. Max is going to have to look on the inside. Oh dear! The rear wing's gone. And that then, is Max going to lose the race win? Is he going to yield it to Dean? What a decision. Dean Wasocki, race 2 winner once again. Max Mulder gives him the place for second. That is well, good sportsmanship there from Max. Archie Bargy on the podium for a third place. Ukbar got past Leon Fernie in the end for fourth. Oh my days, Leon Fernie P5, Rabbit Joe in 6th. Shane comes home for a 7th place. Just going to finish ahead of that Bozzy Boy. Get through the final corner, Monkey. There's Dean's rear wing on the floor. Monkey Boy 8th. Bozzy Boy down in 9th place then for him. Oh, Stealth Sloth. P10, good result for Stealth. He was in the thick of that.
He's got the cleanest car.
He has got the cleanest car.
Not a single scratch on his car. He's done a fantastic job. Good points for Stealth Sloth as well.
The polls aren't working for Driver of the Day. I can't get a poll on. It's not working. So get your voting for Driver of the Day in the chat. Great result, Stealth Sloth P10. Smithy then P11 in this one. And Kelly, sorry, no, he hasn't. DJ Phil I thought Kelly got back ahead of DJ Phil there. Smithy then crosses the line for P11. DJ Phil will cross the line for P12. And a night to forget maybe for Bryn and for KLF 900, as that is 13th and 14th place in this one. But Dan, what a fight.
Yeah, that was right down to the wire. Dean, Max, Argent, Ukbar, Leon Fernie all fighting it out for the race win, but Dean manages to hang on by the skin of his teeth. So far this season, we've only had 2 winners that both winning in their distinctive races. Race 1 was Max, race 2 is Dean. Can anyone beat these 2 in their races so far? Because so far they're going to take it in that order.
Max with the fastest lap of the race, the only man in the 2:07, so Max takes that honour. Dan, get the top 3 in as we look to tomorrow night with KLF 900 and Smithy bringing you the pro action, 8 p.m. BST for that one, when me and Dan will do battle once again with Overtaker, Gary, Fury and a lot of others out there on the track. But the championship points tonight have taken a very big twist, and I tell you what, I'd hate to be Monkey Boy right now. Max Mulder leads 27 points clear of Dean Wasocki, who is in 2nd place in the championship. He himself is 4 points clear of Monkey Boy, who's 7 points clear of KLF in 4th. Ukbar is up to 5th. Shane, P6 still. Rabbit Joe up to 7th after one night, 4 points clear of Smithy in 8th. Stealth, DJ Philly's 9th on 25, tied with Stealth Soft. Bozzy Boy a point behind them in P11. Leon Fernie is 12th place on 20 points. Kieran Argent 17 points for him, with Welshie down in 14th, and Lucas Roth and Bryn 7 points apiece for them. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, it is tied up front. Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros 109, SRL Race Team 109. Fantastic job from them two, Leon Fernie and Max Mulder tonight. Wakasaki Racing 23 points behind. Terminal Velocity are 41 off the back. Super Crash Bros are 5th with the SFA Acora Racing Team in P6. MC Motorsport in 7th and Simplay Motorsport a point behind them, bringing up the rear. Breathe, Dan.
I'm breathing. So far, I've only got Dean in here. I have given an invite to Argent, and well, Max is already in the session, but yeah, as Argent just gets in now. But what a race! And I don't know who to give driver of the day to. Honourable mention to Leon Fernie. He's had a fantastic night's worth of racing. Definitely so. Rabbit Joe's been up there, but I think it's going to have to go to Max once again. Top dog here again, and he's just really shown his class here in the Pro-Am.
Yeah, again, mentioned to Argent, Ukbar didn't have his best night on what we thought was going to be his big shot at circuit. Dean again with the race win as well. Good shout out for him. Driver of the day votes in the chat at the moment. Liam's voted for himself, which obviously doesn't count, so we will not count that one. But we've got Argent in the chat. We'll speak with Argent now. And Kieran, well, talk us through that last lap.
Bit frustrated, really. What could have been. I don't want to say too much now because they let the admin of Druid look at footage, but tried maybe an ambitious move towards the end of the lap, locked up all 4 wheels and just slid off the track. Lucky to get a podium.
Good race, though. We were saying on commentary that we felt you and Dean had left it too late to pit. I bet you didn't expect to be fighting for a podium based off of your race 1 kind of performance.
Race 1, I was kind of unlucky. Dean spun at the 3rd to last corner and I made contact with him accidentally, which put me at the back, and then just trying to fight through just didn't work out, and then got disconnected. So
was it just a disconnection then?
Yeah, everyone just stopped on my screen and then I got disconnected.
Race 2 though, great pace from yourself out there, and the Acora slowly, you seem to be getting to grips with it. Compared to the Audi of last season, would you say it's better?
Hard to say. Early days, I've not driven the Acura very long. As you know, we were in the Ferrari originally and decided to change Acura last minute. But we'll see what season brings.
We go to Catalonia next week, back on European soil, back in Spain. Early morning race for that one. The Acura should go well round there. We're in quite a chassis circuit after turn 1. Excuse me. What are you looking to do there?
Just be consistent. As I say, if I can pick up a couple of podiums. I missed the first week, so I just need to play catch-up.
Well done tonight, Kieran, on the points you scored, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And we've got Max in here as well. And Max, another good display there. You must have thought you'd won the race until you made that mistake.
Yeah, it was a good race, and the mistake, but still P2, and sorry for the last lap for the turn 1 and the last corner, but yeah.
It was very difficult for yourself. It looked like your car was very slidey and twitchy. Is that what happened at the first corner? It just seemed to slide as you turned into turn 1.
I think it was because of engine braking. Normal I have it off, but now in the setup it was on. So
good result for yourself, P2, P1 tonight. You lead the championship. That's good, positive start to the season after 4 races.
It is, and I hope I can continue this.
Catalonia next week, obviously a bit more of a popular circuit between some of the drivers. What can you do around there?
I hope for a podium, but I'm not fast up there, so we don't know.
Well, we'll look to see you next week, Max. Congratulations on tonight. You've got the commentators, and it looks like you've got the audience's vote for driver of the day, so congratulations there.
Thanks.
And we go to your race winner. There's only been 2 race winners in Pro-Am this season. Max takes the race 1. Dean Wysocki takes the race 2. After your race 1, I bet you didn't think that was possible tonight. Now, again, same question as Argent, really. Me and Dan had a conversation. We didn't think that going long was the right choice here. You and Argent did it. I bet you didn't think when you saw Max go past you after your pit stop, you was going to win this race. Pressure on Max seemed to be the key last week and this week, because the more you got close to the back of Max, the more mistakes seemed to creep in. You got past him again. And then just talk us through that last corner, because obviously Max gave you the tap up the rear and the rear wing fell off. Catalonia next week, Dean. What can you do around there? Well, we wish you the best of luck for next week, Dean. Dan, some tonight up for us.
COTA always delivers. No matter whatever happens here, it always delivers. Wildcats reign once again on a race 2. I really don't know what to say about those last couple of laps. It was just chaos everywhere. Obviously, there are a few things that the stewards would probably have to review. They're going to be looked at, but nonetheless, COTA once again delivers a good show. The chaos in race 2 makes me feel a little bit better for the pros tomorrow, because like you say, Matt, whatever happens in the Pro-Am seems to be the polar opposite of what happens in the pros. So either way, congratulations to Max and Dean once again for their wins. It seems to be a running theme now that Max takes the race 1, Dean takes race 2, but these guys need to stop making Max get away, because so far he seems to be getting further and further away, and Dean seems to be the only one to stop him.
He is. He's pulling a big gap in the championship, and you're right, Dean Wysocki is the only man to actually stop Max in his tracks at the moment. And is this going to go on all season? Can anybody else take a race win next week at Catalonia? You'll have to join me and Dan. 8 p.m. BST next week. We are getting close to being back to GMT, so I'll have to make sure we stay alert about this one. But 8 p.m. BST next week for Catalonia, where we'll hopefully should have a full grid for that one. Welshie and Keegs will be back off holiday, I do believe. Tomorrow night, Kelly and Smithy will be in your commentary box. 8 p.m. BST once again, where the pros take their cars to the track in the circuit here at the Circuit of Americas, and it always delivers at an American circuit. Like the space rocket that took off this afternoon, Max's championship is flying into space, and he's going out of orbit at the minute as he is running away with this championship lead. From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.